Hello everyone, it's Ayesha here from God FM. Hope you're all keeping well, praise the Lord. I'm here with my live show of every day. I'm going to put some nice pretty music on. Very nice. Have that going in the background. Hope you're all keeping well. Dun dun la. It is the weekend. Praise the Lord. I've just been saying that I think there's a lot about to happen in the world. And I think we all need to be aware that these are the final days. These are the days where the Lord is basically going to be coming to judge the earth and all inhabitants of it. So I think it is time to repent, seek the Lord, make sure that you have full understanding of these times, the magnitude of what we are going through, and basically revisit everything to do with who you are and make sure you're right with the Lord. These are the final days, and I can only tell you what I think. And I think that the Lord is going to come very, very soon indeed. I think that there's some things coming this year that will happen quite quickly, and so I wanted to talk about that as well. I've actually had visions of the final days, as well as visions of what's about to happen in the world. And I want to talk about that also. So I've had a vision of all sorts of things happening in the streets and various other things that I think are going to be something that happens. I don't think I had the vision for fun, just like I don't think God wrote the Bible for fun. And people say, oh, but man wrote it. Yeah, but do you not think God, creator of heaven and earth, is able to create a Bible, a reference book, for you all to be able to trust and love the Lord and get to know who He is? Of course He is. He's a magnificent, amazing God. He's my best friend. And I can tell you, He's very, very capable. And mighty to save. Very mighty to save. In fact, I've been talking today with the gang stalkers, and I did the sinner's prayer, and I also did the baptism so that they can listen back to it later and baptize themselves virtually in the name and in the blood of Jesus, through the Holy Spirit, through the Jesus Christ who died on the cross for us. I'm here for anybody who wants to talk about gang stalking, being a victim of gang stalking. I'm working quite hard on the prayer side, the spiritual side, understanding the elements of how this operates, because whatever happens in the spiritual world, which is where they press their button to commit these evil atrocities against innocent civilians, this manifests into our reality, and then we see it in the physical world. And when this happens, it's really hard to grasp it and know how to fight it, because it's happening in the physical world, and if you try and fight it in the spiritual world, it won't actually stop it, because this all manifests from the spiritual world. So you have to fight it in the spiritual realm in order for it to stop. And that's the only way to stop the attacks of the enemy. And the enemy prowls like a lion, day and night, looking for entry into your life. And he will also send in all sorts of people captive to try and entrap you into sin and to lead you away from the Lord. In these final days, we need the Lord more than ever. And His Bible is true. And it will give you nourishment and feed your soul. But most important, it will feed your spirit, which needs the Word of God so that it can fill the light of Christ. And God dwells inside you, and the Ark of the Covenant is inside you. The laws of God are carved onto your heart, and this means you don't need a tabernacle from the times of Moses to carry around. And I don't know if you know, but when they were moving the tabernacle, when David had it moved in to where he was living in Jerusalem, they by mistake dropped it. And God actually killed the guy who dropped it, right? So this is how important the tabernacle is. It contains the laws of God. And that's why he says, don't harm the temple, your body, because your body is the temple of God. Don't harm your body because God dwells inside you. And he also says, take off your sandals because you are standing on holy ground. This is holy ground. You are a holy temple to the Lord. That's why you've got to purify yourself on a regular basis to ensure that the Lord is sanctified and made holy inside you. Hello everyone, how are you? Please like and share the live. If you like God FM coming on here every day at 8 p.m, please encourage me by sharing and liking the live so that I feel encouraged to carry on. Okay, so basically what we have is a spiritual war that's going on. And in the spiritual realm, what happens is people are not satisfied with their lives. And then they think to themselves, well, God won't answer me, so I'm going to go and see a little witch or some tarot reader. And they're going to pray and they're going to get their little demons to come up here and give them answers. And they will do what they want. And they want basically for all of the things they need, like finances, happiness, love. They'll do spells and witchcraft to achieve what they want. And then the demon wants payment, yeah? And so if you want a demon to do something for you, you have to pay the demon in blood. And that's through sacrifice, witchcraft, and all these evil things that these people do in order to get the demons to run around for them. And that's what's happening now in the world we have today. But it's not the same as it was 10 years ago, because now the abyss has been opened and there's a lot more demons around. And guess what? They are just people without bodies. And they want a body, somebody they can occupy. And they're looking for a body that they can, take occupancy of. My ears are hurting and they're blocked. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like me to pray for you? Put a yes if you'd like me to pray for you. I can pray for you. And Jesus can heal you today. Would you like your earache to go away? Would you like your ailments to go away? Would you like to feel better? Would you like to feel happier? Would you like to feel peace and joy and happiness in your heart? Would you like to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Would you like to know about the love of Christ? Did you know that God, who made you, loves you and cares about you and thinks about you all the time? Because God is existing outside of time. So a day to the Lord is 1,000 years. And your day here is like 10 seconds to the Lord. You know that, eh? So when you pray to God, sometimes it can feel like He's not answering you, but you got to remember, He's a busy God, and He's also testing you, and He's testing all those people who come against you, because He loves us, and He doesn't want to send anybody to hell. So He's going to give everyone a fair chance, and then when it comes to judgment, He can say, well, here you go, this is what's happened, and I've given you so many chances. I've sent all these people in, and sent Ayesha to TikTok to come and preach the gospel and tell you the good news. And you've heard her message, so, do you want to be saved? And you decided to decline that. So here we are on Judgment Day. Alrighty then. So it is that simple, really. It's whether you're in the light or in the darkness. It's whether you've got eyes to see or ears to hear. It's about whether you want the love of Christ. I mean, God can't heal you unless you realize that you're sick and you want to be healed. So that is how simple it is. Praise the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty then. So please don't forget to share and like the live if you are interested in coming up here to talk about your gang stalking and your experiences. Please come up. Alrighty then. I'm here to talk to the gang stalked victims, to try and pray for you and give you some type of hope that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And you don't need to do this on your own. You're not on your own. You must never feel alone, because God loves you so much, and He's there, and He loves you, and He wants to be a part of your life. In fact, He wants to be a part of every little tiny little thing in your life. You know, even brushing your teeth, what toothpaste are you going to use? He cares about that as well. You know, He wants you to come to Him about every tiny little thing so that He can actually help you. And He wants the glory. So if you go off and do things in your own life and you haven't sought the Lord and things go wrong, that'll be why. Because if you've got the Lord with you, you can't go wrong, because He's basically going to direct your steps, so there's no crooked paths in your life. This is the way the Lord works. He loves everybody. And because He is so magnificent, He just keeps a back seat and lets you come and join Him in His love of who you are. In Jesus' name, praise the Lord. I wonder if anybody's actually come. Nope, nobody's on here at the moment. I don't think so anyway. Well, I shall wait until some people come on here, and then I shall do some talking. How about that? I could sing a song if you like. I could do a song. Praise the Lord. Hello, hello. It's Ayesha here from God FM, and I'm here to talk to targeted individuals who are struggling. Now, you may be a targeted individual and not even realize it. Are your ears ringing? Is your neck hurting? Is your back hurting? Do you have itchy feet? Do you have sore ankles? Do you have a really bad headaches? And you might realize that, yes, actually I'm having problems with my phone, and I'm having problems communicating with others, and I'm really struggling with life as it is. Everything that's good has been taken from me, and life isn't going so well. And actually I could do with some help down here. If you feel like life is overwhelming at the moment and things have changed beyond your understanding and you don't know where to turn, then you've reached the right place. God FM is the place where I pray for you, and I can give you the nourishment and the food that you need as a soul. Your soul needs nourishment, and it needs feeding. It needs the light of Christ, the Word of God. That is what it needs. In order for you to feel alive and renewed, this is what you need. So hello everyone, how are you? Praise the Lord. Hope you're having a great day. It's Friday today. And actually, and I'm in England, and it's 8:15 here. So on Fridays, it is the Sabbath day. Sabbath day is when you worship the Lord, and you basically, from Friday night until Saturday night, you're worshiping the Lord. And in this way, you've got the ability to have a relationship with God at a one-to-one level. And this is the time that you can bond with the Lord and have that relationship that, you know, we need. We need this relationship with the Lord. That's what we need. Praise the Lord. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So yes, anybody got any questions about gang stalking? Anybody got any questions about being targeted? Anybody got any questions about the technology, about what's happening in the world, about these end days, about the revelation, about this being the apocalypse of Christ, the revelation of Christ? It is arrived. Are you finding that you're finding it all a bit overwhelming in the world? Hi guys. So if you're having any questions in your mind and you just don't know where to get the answers, ask me. Let's see if we can get some answers, shall we? How are we getting on? I'm in England, and over here it's 8:16 in the evening, and yeah, it's pretty good. And actually, nobody's coming up here today that I normally would have on here. Don't delete them. Da-da-dee-da-da. La 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 la. So this is a interactive live show. So if you want to talk to me and you want to hear my voice, then all you have to do is comment. All right? If you want me to speak to you, then comment. Okay? Not here to waste my breath if there's no one listening. La da dee dum bum bum bum. I'm waiting for some people to come on here before I start talking. So if you come on here and you want to hear me talking, then make a comment, all right? Otherwise, I'm just going to make myself some coffee and just enjoy this beautiful music. Praise the Lord. Isn't he amazing, our God? La-da-dee-da-da. Just waiting for some people to come and join. And obviously, if nobody does come and join, then I'll be ending the live in 10 minutes. Can't save people who don't want to be saved. Yeah, that's quite nice. It means I can go and have a nice hot bath. Relax. Not worry so much. Put myself first for a change. Oh, hi! Some people have come up here. Hello, Heather. Oh, my goodness. Do you know, I thought no one was coming on here, so I quickly went off for a second. Hi.
Good evening. How are you, my dear?
Okay, I came on here for 20 minutes. There was like people popping on and then popping off, and there was just no one on here. So I was like, oh, okay. Maybe everybody's busy on Friday nights. So I was like, okay, we'll just see what happens. And
Yeah, I was quite surprised not to see anyone when I jumped on myself. I mean, I've been just running late tonight because everything's taken me twice as long because I'm absolutely shattered. But other than that, still got everything done. It doesn't help that the cats just make a hell of a mess and I've got to tidy it all up after supper.
oh, I know. Well, my cat has accidents as well because he gets upset by the home invaders, and
The
stuff.
stress.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
stressful. He gets worried and he gets upset by it. And how are you feeling today? Are you feeling a bit better on, yourself after the prayers?
I'm feeling okay. I am just absolutely shattered. It's just too many late nights, too many early mornings.
Yeah, I know the feeling. It's
It
very
doesn't help, the dog, it's about between 6 and 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock's a lie-in, 6 o'clock's about normal, but every now and then it's a surprise. 4 o'clock in the morning you'll get me up. So it's fun.
Yeah, what I get is my cat jumps on my face, and just jumps on it a few times when he wants me to feed him in the morning.
Yeah. Excuse me, the cats, they tend to take their zoomies at early o'clock in the morning as well. Silly o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think you can manipulate it so that they don't have to be fed until different times, that helps as well.
But cats aren't daft. They can see things that we can't see and they can sense things that we can't sense.
Yeah.
So if your cat's acting strange, it's always a good idea to pay attention.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we've got no one coming in. I think I'm really shadow banned now.
Well, I mean, last night when you were talking, my internet signal kept cutting in and cutting out and cutting in and cutting out, and then it would be okay for a wee while. And then it would start cutting in and out again, and it tended to be when you were saying the prayers.
Yeah, because I think that it was working. I could really feel the power of the prayers as well.
Prayer is powerful, but
Yeah.
you've also got to believe in it yourself. If you don't believe in it, it's just words.
That's
But
for
you have to believe in it. You don't have to be one of these people who's ultra religious, blah blah blah, but have faith.
Yeah. Crazy it is.
Yeah, we're in very dubious times at the moment, unfortunately.
I think
And
that we are definitely very close to something big happening. I can feel it,
there's something in the water because I don't know. I feel unsettled. I feel on edge. I feel as if I am hyper aware, more than normal.
Yes, I get that as well. Yeah.
More than normal, and that's saying something. But there's an atmosphere in the air. It's just like thick fog floating. You can feel it.
I feel like it's a heavy weight, and I can feel it.
Yeah.
But it's since yesterday, it's lighter. So I think that prayer is really helping.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Absolutely does. And, even if it doesn't completely rid things, because we are up against some real powerful shit here.
I reckon we are, for sure.
Between the government themselves, the police and all the rest of the little minions that run around and do their shit. And then we've got the spiritual side. We are being attacked on every front.
I know. And I was saying this yesterday, They go and do their things in the spiritual realm. Then it manifests in this world, and you can't fight it in this world. You can't fight it as a physical. You have to fight it where its source is. And people just aren't getting that, and that's something that only God really showed me yesterday. And I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. So, yeah, I was like, okay, this is very, very interesting. This is what God's showing me,
It's certainly how I've been feeling for quite a long time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's definitely along the lines of what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that the government and the other little minions and the energy weapons, they're still doing all that as well.
Yeah.
So I think both subjects need to be discussed. Both subjects. Because we need to attack this from both sides.
I agree.
Now, I don't think there's any point whatsoever in going to the police. I don't think there's any point whatsoever in going to the courts. Whether we go after the MPs, whether we start writing to newspapers, trying to get some kind of traction that way, that might be a way to go, because the police aren't going to listen to you, neither is the courts. I highly doubt anyone else will listen to us either, but it's maybe worth a try down the MP route.
Well,
send all the information. If we can gather all the information from even different sources, like even some of the stuff that JC had, send it to anyone that will pay it any attention. Read this shit. This is proving that this is real. We are not all crazy.
Yeah. Well,
because I bet you there's a lot of people out there that don't have the first idea about what's actually going on, that feel this stuff, but they just don't understand where it's coming from.
Yes, people don't understand it, and that's the problem, because they're lacking in understanding about the Lord, about his, miraculous workings, how he operates. They're just, lacking because they took God out of the schools. And so they're just missing all of these things,
Yeah, it's a very clever, and I don't like calling it clever because it's very devious, but when you lay everything down and you have a think about how this has came to where we are in this time frame right now, how we've came here, how many years it's taken of the smallest little steps to get us to where we are right now. It is an ingenious plan.
Yeah.
The devil is so fucking smart. This has been ongoing for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it started with the silliest little things like maybe changing the meaning of a word here and there. And then you ramp it up to changing some laws, and then you ramp it up to start playing with medication, and then as the ages go on, do you know what I'm saying? It's been such subtle ways that the government have gained more control and released these weapons and started attacking their own people on a grander scale. They've done it so slowly and so steadily, we have missed the mark. We've just not seen it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing we can thank right now for the information that we hold is the internet, is the fact that we can all get together and we can share this shit. And then people are going, oh, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Is that what that is?
It seems, yeah. But how do we get through to people,
Oh, that's the $1 million question, really. If people don't want to believe, if people, and it's so sad that so many people have had such bad experiences with the church and with religion, and it completely puts them off, it turns them completely other way.
Yeah.
And that is so, so sad. How we change those people's minds, I really don't know. It's down to them. We can't actually do anything. It's down to each individual to arrive at this point in time where we go, shit, see this God and devil thing? It's totally real. Each person, we can preach, we can try and explain things, we can try and put things into a way that's easy for people to understand. But if you're not ready, you're just not going to get it. I think it's a personal journey, and what worries me is time is up. Time is up.
Yeah.
And the people that are still on their journey or maybe starting off on their journey, I really fear that it's too late. If they don't amplify things, it could be too late for them to realise the truth.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that it's basically it's a setting that people are not familiar with. They're not familiar. It's like there's a game. It's a game almost, and nobody's really expecting this game to take form, and they're not really sure what this game is. It's like this is our lives, and it isn't really a game, but it is a game, and people are a bit confused. They're really lost.
The world's confused. The entire world is confused. There's a lot of people running scared. There's a lot of people just gave up hope.
Yeah.
And I don't think as a society, I don't think humanity has ever been weaker in the entire history of the world.
Yeah.
We've never been so fractured and broken away from one another in the truth and what we should be doing. Like I spoke to your daughter about last night, this is not working 9 to 5 and, 60 hours a week and getting no break and no time for family or fun or even just going out in the fresh air. It is so unnatural for us. And I think that is making a lot of people sick.
Oh, yes, for sure. People are very sick. And, well, I mean, the stuff that's going on, it's affecting people's well-being, but it's all linked in with the devil.
Yes, it is, I'm afraid.
And they don't realize it. And they don't want to know either.
No, some people might, but it's finding them. It's finding that at the end of the day, all we can do is our best. And even if you just start someone off on baby steps, if it can plant a seed, a tree can grow. And maybe if there is at least a seed planted, if someone's maybe wondering and maybe going, God, are you really there? Maybe he will save them.
Yeah.
Maybe he will see that as you're all right. You speak to me. I'll let this one pass.
Well, exactly. It would be really nice if we could just have some people just listen and, just really just take it seriously, what God's written in his Bible, then we'd be okay,
Yeah. Like I said to you the other night, I find it hard to believe that anyone can look at the world and how amazingly intricate it's put together and just think that it was just a coincidence. I know coincidences happen in this world, but you're talking coincidences on a biblical scale. Because every neuron has to fire at the right time and every muscle has to contract or relax at the right time and your brain's controlling all of this. And how the hell does that happen? something that crawled out of a mucky puddle. Come on. Look at nature. Look, you know, the bees feed the birds feed the cats feed the other. I struggle. I struggle to see where people are coming from when they are so solid on the fact God doesn't exist. Because the amount of times that I have been asked by people, prove God exists, I throw it straight back. Prove he doesn't. I think you've got a harder job proving he doesn't than proving he does. Sorry.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we're in a losing battle. I
What do you
really
think
do. And
about like Christmas and all this?
we really shouldn't be celebrating it. We
Mm-hmm.
really shouldn't. Do I exchange gifts? Yes, I do. It's
Yeah.
just something that I always did throughout the years, and it was more a family get together. And my grandmother always promoted Jesus. Now, I know damn fine the 25th of December is as far away from Jesus' real birthday as you can probably get. It's definitely not the right date. Not that we know the correct date, but it's definitely not December. But it still brings Jesus and God to the mouth of the people. So in that respect, although it's a pagan festival, it does have its good points. And that's the good points. But over the years, that Christmas spirit has gone. I was saying to my mum just the other day, she had nipped into the town to get a couple of bits and bobs, and I'd stayed at home with the dog. And she said, "Oh, the town's really, really quiet." I said, "Mum, that's partially why I wasn't interested coming in with you. I was happy staying at home with the dog. It's just, there's no cheer. There's no people singing carols and singing Christmas songs and talking about God and Jesus on the streets anymore. You don't get the nativity scenes in the shopping centres anymore. You don't even get street preachers trying to talk to you about God and Jesus. It's all
Do you
been
know why?
cancelled."
Do you know?
I would say the devil's got a lot to do with that. Things have been on a downward spiral for quite a long time. Excuse me. And it doesn't help with the infiltration of people from different faiths.
Yeah. Well,
And I know you know who I'm talking about. I just don't want to get you banned. That's all by saying it too much.
I know. I think that, like, if you look at it, basically what we've got is we've had God removed from all the schools and everything else. And now
Yes.
people aren't able to work out who God is, if he's real. No one's got any idea who God is at all. And they don't have any idea about what's going to happen in the Bible. And actually, they couldn't give a damn either. That's the other thing. There's so much pride going on. It's exactly as the Bible said. And then they've also made it so preachers can't go out and do the preaching. So, it's just, it's very hard.
Yeah, there's not a day goes by, Ayesha, that I hope to God that we're all wrong. I hope to God that we're just having a shared delusion that all this is happening and it's going the way it's going. I just keep hoping to God, and I keep saying to God himself, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am actually insane. I would rather be away with the budgies than this come to pass. I started off my journey wanting to prove things wrong. Like, you know, when I was looking into things, I'd be like, right, this will be when I find out, see, it's a whole load of nonsense after all. But the more I looked into things, the more I was actually proving the opposite. That this is a reality. But I still hope that we're all wrong. And this is just some type of religious fantasy or something. I don't know. But I just hope someone one day goes, see, Heather, you're now 90 years old, nothing ever happened, and I'll be like, Hallelujah fucking Luya.
Oh, I know.
But I don't think that's the case. I really don't think that's the case. More and more things. Once upon a time, we would have been called conspiracy theorists. But how many quote-unquote conspiracy theories have to become conspiracy fact for people to wake up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna do it. There's a lot of people that are awake, but so many of us are spiraling along a different path because there's so many avenues to go down. And some people just go down an avenue and get bogged down in a certain subject and don't ever seem to go forward from that. They get obsessed by one topic, let's say geoengineering. They start finding out about this and they start looking into it and researching everything they can about geoengineering and making catalogues of all this information to go, haha, it's real. It's like, well, yeah, it's real. But look further. If the government is capable of that, what else are they capable of? And if they're capable of worse things than that, aka the child sacrifice and all that kind of stuff, why are they capable of that? Look deeper.
Yeah.
Then hopefully they'll find the Hollywood stuff and the pop star things and find out about all the rituals, and then they might go on to the Freemasons, and slowly but surely they'll come to the truth. But it's a time factor now, Ayesha. I don't know. I mean, I was looking at a couple of passages in Revelation last night, and one thing really jumped out at me. I think it was Revelation 20, I think, or that's where I started reading anyway. It specifically mentions the Christians being beheaded.
Oh, I know.
Now, years gone by, I just assumed, well, that's the weaponry they had in those days, so that's why they're talking about Christians being beheaded. You know, John's probably talking about what he's familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
I read it completely differently now, and last night it was like God just slapped me right across the face 2 times, douche, douche. Now you get it. And I was like, Jesus, of course. What do these people on small boats, what is their preferred method? Beheading. With their ceremonial sharp things.
Oh, right.
You get me? It just has a whole new meaning now.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yes. Okay. And that's their method, is it?
Yes. That's their preferred method. Do you not remember all these ISIS videos and things that got leaked? And all these Christians and all these journalists, they're on their knees, and these people are standing behind them.
Yes.
With a sharp implement in their hand, and it goes along the neck area.
Yeah, that's right.
And then all of a sudden, the main part of the body falls over, and they're left with the round bit that, you know, they just removed. But I'm trying so hard not to get you back.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
but it's just actually really, really funny. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
but if you can read between the lines, which I am sure you can in my ramblings, you can
Mm-hmm.
see where I'm coming from. It just had such a profound new meaning.
Yeah.
And I didn't really plan on, when I come off live last night, remember I had said to you in the beginning I was tired, so I wasn't going to stay on that late anyway. I stayed on later than I intended. And then when I came off live, I had cuddled down, and then my eyes opened again, and I'm like, just 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, just let me read. And I opened up my phone and I was like, oh, it's Revelation 20. That'll do fine. I'll read a passage, that'll get my eyes tired, and then I'll go to sleep. And there it was, staring right at me.
Oh, right.
And that it just felt as if that was another way God was going, you're on the right track. See, I told you.
I think I'm having interference. So
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
gonna,
crackling a wee bit.
yeah, I'm just gonna go and put my VPN on so the coffee thing will come up. 2 seconds, okay?
No problem.
Oh, you're still there. Good?
I am, yes, because
Oh.
for some reason on the wee box it's not showing my profile picture.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So don't know why it's doing that, but
I think we've got interference on this live. That's what I think. I think there's a problem on my phone. I think something's happened with my phone. But again, I can't at the moment I can't use the microphone on certain things as well. So I think I've had problems today with the phone.
okay. Yeah. It could be the phones. It could be TikTok itself. It could be the bloody Wi-Fi. There's so many things it could be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, but it's Friday night, so you've often got the men out, haven't you? Men go out on Fridays, don't they, for the football and stuff. In certainly in England, and they're more family orientated, like kids' school holidays. I think today.
Okay.
I don't know if it is, but it's about the right time now. School holidays.
I'm not sure because I had my dog walker take the wee man out today, so I didn't even go past the primary school, which I normally do, so I couldn't even tell you if it was open.
Yeah. So
I haven't got a clue.
I think it's around now that they break up, or it might be next week. I think they get 2 weeks over Christmas. Or is it 3? Or is it 4 weeks? I don't know. But no, it isn't 4 weeks. It's 2 weeks normally.
No, I think if I remember correctly, it was about the 2 week mark, I think.
Yeah. And they normally go back about the 5th. So that means that they'd probably be off from around the 21st. Yeah. So it's next week then, probably.
Okay. Excuse me 1 second. Kylam, stop it. Sorry, the dog's ripping up his blanket at the moment.
Oh, it's all right. I
Thank
think a
you.
nervous reaction. Animals do that. My cat's been scratching the carpets and all that kind of thing as well. Hello.
I think he was trying to get comfortable and he was just trying to dig up his blanket. Hello, my dear, how are you?
Given circumstances, all right, I suppose. Trying to figure out supper for my youngsters now. They're being picky.
Oh, okay.
Tell me a kid that's
You know
not
how it
picky.
is with kids, right? Like, they want stuff that you don't have here, and then they act like you got nothing.
I could tell you a
And
really
then you
lovely.
cook it and they don't want it.
Yeah, that's what they're They're like that. They're spoofing the Wi-Fi flat out again now, and they started off moody over that because they couldn't play their games properly, and now they're being moody with me over food.
Can I make a suggestion for a quick meal for the kids? Something really nice.
Yeah?
Potatoes in the oven. Just chop them up, right? And put them in the oven, and then chuck some baked beans all over them, right? You don't even need to take the skins off. So you chuck it in the oven with the baked beans, and then you put some cheese over the top, and you just chuck it in there, and you leave it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, until it goes all gooey and sticky.
Gee, that sounds good for myself.
Do you know, I'm sitting here thinking
But I
that
got no
myself.
potatoes or beans or cheese.
Oh, you don't have any of that?
No, I have menopause. I don't have I don't even have one of the things.
Oh, pea sticks. Okay. Another one is beans. Have you got any type of beans?
No.
Okay, well, I'll tell you something that's good for vegetarians. So, if you get the white beans, any of the white beans, but the soft ones, I think they're called, I don't remember.
Butter beans.
Butter beans, yeah. You get those and you fry them up with some onions, or you don't even need onions. Just cook them up in the pan until they're a little bit brown, and then make some gravy and chuck it in there. Then serve that with mashed potato. And it's a very good vegetarian meal.
I'm not that picky, but my kids, I have super picky kids. Like, there's only a handful of things that they'll eat. Now, unless I'm cooking some home cooked meal or something, they'll usually eat that. But like, they're very picky, right? Like, I mean, unreal picky. But they're like all kids, rather eat junk food than actually eat a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kids for you.
Right?
That's why
They started off moody over their games, and then I was like, well, what do you want for supper? And because they were moody over their games and the internet and stuff like that, and I was like, well, you gotta tell me. I was like, we got a pizza there. I was like, well, I'll put on wings for you. There's a few wings left there. And then they were like, no, I don't want that. There's nothing here. And I was like, there's food here. It's just you're picky at what I got here.
Well, I
I
mean,
bet if you offered them noodles,
Well, they love noodles. They love
they
ramen.
would,
Like they love
kids
like the
would,
spicy stuff.
they would live
I
off of
can't
noodles.
stand it. I can't stand the spicy stuff, but they're famous. They loves anything spicy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, my ex, she's got a son, and I class that child as my stepchild. You know, I rose him for God, about 10, 15 years
Kids
of
are
his
so
life.
different these days. Like when we were growing up, it was like whatever your parents put on the table, you eat it or you eat nothing.
Exactly.
Right? If you're hungry enough, you'll eat.
Kids are spoiled these days,
Well, that's the thing. We
but
got
if
them
they could
spoiled,
live off
right?
of
Making
noodles,
special foods for them. Picking up, I mean, that's all I do. And pick up foods for them and stuff because I don't eat much my own self. I'll, like, whatever I put on for them, I'll eat a little bit of it, but I don't have much appetite with all this stuff. So I was just eating dinner, like, they're like, no. Well, I was like, I'm putting on wings. If you either eat it or don't eat it. And you can live off French fries.
Oh, yeah.
oh, noodles, chips,
Yeah,
things
noodles,
like
French
that,
fries,
burgers.
pizza, wings, burgers, nuggets.
Well,
Typical kid stuff.
what sort of stuff have you got in at the moment?
I got wings on there from there now, and I'm gonna put some fries on with it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, because they were like naming it stuff. They were like naming it stuff I didn't. They were like, I want tacos. I want this. I was like, well, we're not having tacos right now because there's nothing there to make tacos. So we're gonna have wings. You likes wings, so you'll eat them.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I go with because I used to have about 6 students in the summer. So what I'd do is I'd get potatoes, and I would always do roasty potatoes. So I'd do slits of potato in the oven without taking the skin off. Just chuck it in there with some really, good, just cooking oil and really hot, and leave it on there for an hour, full blast. Really make sure it's all crispy, rock and roll. Keep stirring, and then throw some. You can throw some herbs on, a bit of cheese, or you can do the vinegar, salt, and ketchup. They love it either way. whatever
I
you throw
don't.
together.
They're huge. Like I said, they're huge fan of French fries and stuff. I must say, they can live off that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and it's cheap, because stuff is
Yeah.
expensive. So I would say potatoes is a really good base because it's not got the meats. I mean, a lot of the meats they're interfering with, aren't they, at the moment?
You know
So
what? I've been finding lately after meats is not fit to eat. Like you'll buy it and you'll cook it. You'll use spices and put stuff in the water or frying pan while you're cooking, and even so, like the texture of it is not the same anymore.
no,
Like it's I don't know what we're eating, to be honest with you.
Do you
We could
really
be
want me to
human.
tell you?
We could be eating humans.
Soil ain't green. It's all soil and green.
oh
But if
It
you
don't
get
taste the same. It really don't. Like I don't know if
no,
it's just me. It just tastes off.
meat didn't taste the same for a long time for me, and I said to my
Yep.
mum, I said, I'm fed up with meat and things like that. Lamb tastes
It's so
rotten.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like
So
extremely expensive.
we started buying our produce straight from like farmers.
Yeah.
yeah,
And yes, okay, it might be a little bit more expensive,
But at
but
least she knows what it is and where it come from.
exactly. At least we know if we want a bit of beef, well, it's actually a cow.
yeah,
Yeah. 'Cause it's not. It's not the same anymore, and it's way more expensive than it ever was. Like,
yeah, for sure.
man, I could sit there and eat a box craft dinner and I'm fine. Or some toast and tea. I'm gonna use anything to make meal. I'm not picky.
Yeah,
Anything does when you're hungry.
Kiddos are always picky. I find mine are, and why some kids just eat anything, but mine are extremely picky.
yeah. Well, my kids would eat anything because I fed them anything as they were little babies, and then they ate whatever I gave them.
Yeah, half of it these days is what we got them made into. Got them spoiled.
Yeah,
Make them whatever they want. If they don't like what you got on for your supper, you're making them something else.
yeah,
Like I said, it wasn't like that when we were growing up.
Well, a little trick that my mum used to use, especially if she wanted me to eat mince and potatoes, and I love mince and tatties now, but if she
Yeah.
wanted me to eat mince and potatoes when I was young, she was a smart devil, so she was. She would get food colouring. She would add the food colouring into the potatoes and the mince and everything. She would like put it in a blender, blend it all up so it looked like a plate of slime. Because
ooh,
one of her favourite colours was green. She would put the green stuff in. And I thought this was the best thing ever. She would say, "What do you want for your dinner tonight?" "Slime." I was like, okay. Because
slime.
at that point, well, Ghostbusters was big, in
Yeah, yeah.
the early 90s when I was, up and
You must be
growing.
around. You must be around my age.
I'm 42.
A few years older than me.
Yeah, 42. Born in 83.
Yeah, I figured that.
We're the last generation that understand what true freedom is.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I remember if I had to do something like that with my kids now and change color of their food, they'd be like, "Oh my god, that's disgusting. There's something wrong with it. What are you feeding me?" Right?
Yeah,
It would be interesting to see their face, though, if you just give them a plate of slime and go, "That's your dinner." That's what happens to children that keep complaining about their food. Eat your fucking slime.
Food is food, man. It fills your stomach. That's all that matters.
Well, when there's no food in the supermarkets, it's grab what you can find and go.
Yep.
for sure.
I always said it because, like I said, now they're just. I don't know. This generation is different. Like kids growing up these days. Well, I mean, not I suppose not all of them. I suppose people do have kids that aren't picky eaters. Not me. You ladies up to this evening? I suppose it's nighttime where you guys are to now.
Yeah,
Yes,
late.
9 o'clock.
Oh wow.
What
20
time
to
is it
6.
where you are?
20 to 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Crazy
Yeah.
it is.
I've been waiting the past hour for them to decide what they want for their supper. I
Friday.
was like, you know what? I'm just putting something on.
Oh, sorry guys,
No,
I've got interference on this live. I noted my phone is so hot I could cook an egg on it.
Yeah, they're constantly doing it. I just, like I said, I got tired of it. I'm
I
just
think
like, whatever.
the weekends are the worst because that's when they're training their children how to commit evil, you know. That's what I found.
Go do this. Go do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know because I've had the little child in one of the apartments ask for a little bit of wire, and I've worked out what it was for now, and it's
What?
rewiring. Yeah, for speakers, because they put little speakers on everything and stuff.
Wow.
To make the ringing. You know the ringing that you get.
Yeah, the ringing gets, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all done through amplifiers and speakers and little bits of wire.
I don't get it every day. I don't get it a lot. I get it here and there, but you
Yeah.
know, knowing when it happens, because it feels like you're on deaf.
Oh, it's horrendous. It's all the time. But, I mean, I was talking to the gang stalkers today, and I was just saying, you know, I feel something's going to happen, and I think they should repent now before it's too late. There was a ruler called Constantine, and he basically, he wouldn't hand his life to Christ until nearer the end of his life because he wanted to continue committing evil. Because once you've been saved, you can't continue doing evil, you see.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, oh dear, okay. And so, yeah, it's been a very eventful day today. I had a good sleep last night. I woke up with no aches and pains. So that
You're
was
lucky there.
very lucky. And I thought, oh, I feel great. And then, but it was late. It was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I thought, oh, well. But I've been taking some new medicines and things to try and help my body. And I think maybe one of them, I don't know which one it is that worked, but it's helped me. But it's only temporary because in a day or two it'll be out my body and they'll be back in with their nano and their weird stuff again. Probably.
I don't get no break from it. It's everyday pain.
yeah, I can join you on that one, I'm afraid. Every
Yeah,
day is
it's
painful.
Just chug through it, like I say. Best you can.
I just don't really complain about it anymore because what I've came to realise is nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah.
As sad as that is, nobody wants to hear it. You know, people will ask you all the time, hiya, how are you? If you don't give the generic, I'm fine, how are you? If you don't give that generic answer back, you completely flummox them, and it's almost like they just want to run away because it's like you weren't supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, it's like it's programmed, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what everybody's programmed to say, regardless. Oh, I'm good, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
If you're not fine, you'll find that the ambulance turn up and try and take you to the mental hospital because you're not fitting in with the norm. You know? She says she's not
I've never
fine,
fitted
that
into
one.
the norm. I don't think there's been a time in my life where I can say I've been normal. And I'm happy with that. I am quite happy with it. I've just had a more expansive mind than the average person, I think. And I think you ladies are the same.
Yeah.
You've got to expand your mind to be able to understand the shit that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've gone through full circle, haven't we? As well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad before, but now it's really bad. But the thing is, it's bad for everyone else as well, so everyone's got to catch up with us now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the way I look at it.
You'll ever catch up.
So you're not alone anymore. If you don't, you know what I mean. It's kind of interesting how it's all happened.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world's suffering with something.
Yeah, and it was
Some more
good.
than others, but
Some people are brought in the world just to suffer, unfortunately.
unfortunately so.
When do you think you
And but
guys woke
true.
up to what was going on in the world? Was it the COVID that really woke you up?
Pardon me?
What
No,
woke you up
I was.
to the world?
I think I was awakened quite a few years before that.
Oh, okay.
You know, I wasn't completely aware of what was going on. I mean, that it's so complicated and complex. I mean, I still don't know if I've got the complete picture. I mean, I don't think we'll ever have the complete picture. But I started really heavily looking into things, I would say my mid-20s or early to mid-20s. That's when I started diving in headfirst.
Right. Wow. Okay. I think I was late 20s when I started to think there's something not right here. But I mean, I think even as a child, I didn't really fit into the sort of norm at school and things, you know?
Yeah, I've always known the world wasn't right, and I've always known something's strange and that there's weird and wonderful things go on in the world. I've always known that from a young child. But I didn't really, I would say, start to properly waken up, because beforehand it was still, oh, that's just a coincidence, or nah, you know, it's fun reading about this stuff, but it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Isn't it? And
Yeah.
then you would sit there and you would ask yourself several times, but is it? And then more and more people come out with testimonies. And one thing that I delved into, and I still love hearing about it, is either past life stories or regression stories. I find them fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't believe it, but I mean, it's fascinating watching and listening to it.
I think,
And like,
well, I think that we only get one life, but we do have Jesus who says that John the Baptist was Elijah, basically. So there's something to it, but there's nothing much written about it, not in the Bible. So you got to be careful, because also my dad believed that he was a violinist, I think, from Italy, and he remembered his past life at the end of his life and started writing about the woman that he was before with a cleft lip.
okay.
And I don't believe that it was really his past life. I think it was a demonic entity that completely filled his mind at the very end of his life. So he couldn't be saved by God. So he
It
started to
could be.
believe something different, you know.
It could be. I mean, I've got a couple of theories when it comes to that kind of stuff, because one thing that I've said to people quite a lot is, if God were to put everything into the Bible, if he was to put all the information we would ever need, want to know, you know, this is why I did this and this is why I did that, and go into a lot more detail than is already there, have you any idea what size that damn book would have to be?
Yeah, but I mean, also there's just so much that we don't know about, like before the fallen angels, what happened there. I think all of that's really interesting. What happened with the pyramids in Egypt? Who built those damn things? Why were they
Yeah, because
built?
it sure as hell wasn't people.
And yeah, I mean, how deep do they go? Actually, I have a video I'm about to upload, and it's about they discovered a UFO inside the pyramids, and yeah, hidden deep. But it's like What is a UFO exactly? And why have we got Jesus flying around in UFOs in old pictures, What exactly is the picture of Jesus round the table with the 12 disciples? What exactly is this about? What's going on? Because there's bits and pieces we're missing, and it doesn't quite add up. Why have they got pictures of him everywhere if they don't like him?
I think there's a lot we're missing for the reason of, we cannot get told everything because the book would probably be the same size as the bloody world. It wouldn't be feasible. It's like God sat there and went, right, I'm going to get you guys to write this book, but it's a summary. It's an important summary, but it's a summary, guys, because I can't fit all this shit in. I know I've got all the time in the world, but give me a break.
Yeah.
You just can't put it all in, because one of my theories when it comes to the either reincarnation stories or the past life regression and all this kind of thing is because God loves us so very deeply and we are all his children and he wants every single one of us to go through those pearly gates of heaven. Is there a chance that the people that don't quite make it, they don't quite figure their shit out, but they're not bad folk, is that the ones that God maybe goes, right, go back and try again? Try again. You've got to the end of days, try again. Maybe some people have tried several times until they get it right.
Yeah, I do.
That's just one theory.
It could be. I mean, and that's why we don't know what we're meant to be doing, and it's all about figuring out a puzzle. It's like a puzzle, isn't it?
Well, it would explain the children that remember their past lives, and it would also explain the reincarnation theory.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it does. Yeah.
I found it fascinating. Now, one of the only subjects I was good at school was religious studies. I loved religious studies. I loved looking into all the different religions and especially working out what correlates towards each other, and more of it correlates towards each other than not. It might be worded differently and you might have to really think about it. Well, how does that fit into that? And that could go along beside the Bible in this way or that way, and the Buddhism, like the reincarnation. Well, what if God sent us back? That could tick that box, and that's why they think that. It fascinates me, and you can get quite deep into it because there are a lot of unknowns.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's things that we're not meant to know.
There's also that. There's things that's probably too dangerous for us to know.
I think so.
But this is what the fallen angels has given to man. That's how these people have these energy weapon devices. That's how they know how to turn the street lights into direct energy weapons. It's how they know how to create massive earthquakes anywhere in the world at the flick of a switch. It came from these fallen angels.
Well, they had some supernatural, amazing technology in the past. And if you just get some of the videos from the 1800s, you can see they were going around on free scooters, free energy devices, flying machines. They had computers and iPhones before.
Yeah,
and then they did the masks.
Video.
Then they did the virus. The same as what they're doing now, the COVID type virus. And they called that the Spanish flu. Yeah. And they wiped us out once already. And this was actually, I studied this, a worldwide event. And it was a wipeout. Because I did some big studies. When I read the Bible, I thought, well, things don't really add up. And God gave me dreams and all sorts of things. And he said that it all starts with the Commonwealth. I was like, why? He said, because it's the commonwealth of the people that was taken. I was like, oh, right. And so I had all these dreams to tell me. And so I studied a lot. It was very interesting when you look back. But most of us are indoctrinated at school. So we're not learning anything about our past. Like I said about the pyramids. There's loads of pyramids, actually, and they've all been covered with mounds. And also there's lots and lots of giants and their bones. And they've also covered those with earth mounds. Then we got mud floods and all these interesting things, you know. And I'm really interested. I'm like, I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. When I found out about the mud floods, I was studying that for a good year. Really, really studying it.
That explains why some of the houses are half buried.
That's
and there's
right.
windows partially buried. And one story that I loved, and I would sit and watch documentary after documentary about it. And there's not a lot of information out there, obviously, but it's the one about the Kandahar giant in Afghanistan when the troops went in.
Oh, okay.
And have you heard about that one?
No.
The troops were told to go to this meeting point. They were to pick up a unit that was already on the ground, but they couldn't get a hold of this unit. So they sent in another unit to go and see if everything was okay. And they followed the trails and they came to this massive big cave. And I think they seen signs that there had been a battle or something like that. So they had their guns pointed in this cave and they heard noises and things. So they got ready to fire at what was ever coming out of this cave. And I can't remember how big they said it was. I think it was at least 10 foot tall. This massive, big, red-haired giant, and they called it the Kandahar giant. And they were firing at this thing. The bullets were doing not much, and these were serious weapons. We're talking the US military. These were serious weapons. And it took hundreds of bullets to take this thing down. And then when this thing got taken down, they called in a helicopter backup crew to come in with a giant cargo net, and they took this body away. Never been seen since.
Wow.
I think it's actually the testimony of the helicopter pilot himself, and he picked up the troops as well, and the troops were completely and utterly like zombified. They were so traumatized. They wouldn't speak. They were ashen white. They just didn't want to explain what had happened. But eventually I think he got some intel, and of course he picked this thing up, and I can't remember what Air Force base they took it to, but this thing got taken away by the US military.
Everything's hidden.
Yep, history's certainly not what we were told, that's for sure.
That's okay. We're here to relax. Don't worry. Just relax.
It'll be interesting when we finally move on to our final resting place and we finally find out all the information that we are sitting boggling our minds about right now. Everything will become clear.
I hope so.
And as much as, you know, I'm quite happy being alive and I quite enjoy my little life to a certain degree, there are things to look forward to moving on.
I think the way, you know, because I think we're in post-traumatic shock. I am. So that's why I go silent sometimes. Sorry. Because I'm just thinking about just the level of what's happened. And it really has affected me. And I think I haven't actually coped with it very well. And I think every day I just have to pinch myself, and I'm like, can't believe I'm here. Can't believe this has changed so much. And I can't believe this is the world that I grew up in, and that I was so blind before, and now I'm awake and I can see. But also, like you say, it is good as well, because I'd rather be awake, than asleep. But there
Yeah.
is this element of post-traumatic stress, and my mind can't really comprehend it. It's a bit like if you were to time travel, right? And it feels like I've time traveled. My body's still back there, but my mind's up here in the forward of a few hundred years or something. And I'm waiting for my body to catch up with my mind. That's how I can only describe it. And I'm like, oh, are you ever going to catch up? And am I going to ever be synchronized again, where my body and my mind are both together, alert and awake of what's going on and comfortable with it? Because I feel unsettled, and I think that's the only way I can explain it. Unsettled, and I think, as I say, in shock. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It really is a tough pill to swallow.
It is, yeah.
It really, really is. And
Yeah.
like I say, I still hope that somewhere along the lines that we're just a bunch of crazy people sitting having delusions and talking about a shared delusion. I really hope that's the case and nothing comes of this. But I know better. It's just a fantasy thinking about that, because I know better.
I do know that this is not just a fantasy. This is our reality now. And but it's good in a way, because it means that God is real, and it means that the Bible's true, and so that's good news. But it also means, I don't know about you, but for many years I thought, oh, I'll never see Judgment Day.
Yep.
I'll never see
Yep.
God. God won't ever talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, he's just that mystery guy in the sky, Little did I know that I'd become super best friends with him, and I'd be surrounded by a world that's basically being destroyed. We're being annihilated. But there's a part of me that feels quite comfortable and quite happy about it. I don't know if that's a sick, twisted part of me, but I'm actually glad
No.
it's happening as well.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's a sick or twisted part. I mean, as much as, I told my mum when I was young that I was going to see the end of the world, and I really did believe it, and I still believe it.
Yeah.
Somewhere kind of in the middle of my life, I kind of put it to the side, and it was like, I was just being a child, I was just being a child, but deep down I knew there was something more to it. But for a wee while, it was more comfortable just to push it to the side. And then I started learning little bits about different subjects, like I explained to you, that book that was my stepdad's, that book of mysteries. And it really got my mind thinking. And I was young at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was younger than 10, put it that way. I must have been about 6, 7, maybe. And that's the kind of stuff I was reading. But I loved it. It didn't scare me. It fascinated me. And I just knew there was something to it. But I knew that sounded crazy. And I like I said, tried to find information that would disprove it. And I just came to the opposite conclusion, which, it was a wake-up call.
Yeah, I think there's just so many things that I find really interesting. Like, as I say, I wonder about the tunnels, right, in the ground, and the technology they had before. And they've definitely got this technology back out again. And I'm like, okay, so we've got all this technology that we didn't know exists, but it's here, and they're using it right now. How about we try and harness that? Like, The ether. You know the ether. I don't know if you know much about the ether, but I think
I
that's
think
really interesting.
you spoke briefly on it the other night, and I had heard of it, but I didn't really understand what it was, to be fair.
Okay, so the ether is where the earth and the heavens meet, I think. And it's a current of electricity. So you know there's parts of the ocean that has a split so that you can see different parts of the ocean. One side is dark, one side is light.
Yes, yes.
So in the same way, there's a partition, I think, between the currents, because it's all invisible layers. And so we've got different currents and layers in the heavens of
There's a
electricity.
question for you. I've never been sure what it means, and I know what the flat earthers think, but what do you think the firmament is?
The firmament is a seawater. I've seen it. Are you there?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
here. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm thinking. I kind of do the same. My brain sometimes slows down, and I struggle to get words out. So I've got to think about what I'm trying to say, and then sometimes I can completely lose my train of thought along the way. And
Okay, so
yeah,
let me
sometimes I
explain
can
it.
get a bit muddy.
Let me explain why I know it. I've seen it in a video where a guy in a hot air balloon is touching the sky. He's touching the firmament, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, it's seawater." And I thought, yeah, that's it. That's what I know it is, because God says he separates the firmament. Yeah. And the firmament is a dome over us. And we are on an earth that's like a ball, but it's not what we thought it is. It's like in the old books of the Bible, it describes Sheol, which is hell, underneath the earth, and then above the earth is heaven, and then you've got the firmament, and the firmament is the seawater. And the seawater, if you know, when you look into a swimming pool, you can see the people swimming in the water, and it's crystal clear, isn't it? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But then if you're at the bottom of the water, when you look up, you can't see the people, can you, eh? Because it looks all blurry,
Fuzzy.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it's fuzzy. Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the fuzzy part of the water, right? We can't see up to heaven, but God can see us crystal clear. Yeah. And that's the way Ezekiel describes it, like it's a glass crystal floor that you can see through, and God can see everything. And this is exactly how Ezekiel describes it. And he's just totally, besotted with God, and he loves God so much, and he's so fascinated. God gets Ezekiel, and he shows him some amazing things. Wow, blow your mind. I mean, the Bible would make a better movie than any movie that you've got on. It's just blow your mind interesting, better than any of our superheroes is our Lord. He's just amazing. And so this explains to me why God can see through that crystal floor, and Ezekiel sees it as a glass crystal floor that you can see right through. But that would be water. And that also explains why Jesus can walk on water, because I believe God walks around the earth, and so does the devil. They're walking around. And so, because it's like a magnifying glass as well, and I believe they can zoom in and out. But it's also in time, space, and matter in different realms, because God's time is outside time, and his day is 1,000 years. That's why I say that he's just amazing and fascinating. I just find God very interesting. Really. I just find him fascinating.
Thank you. That actually makes sense in my head, the way you explained it. You see, for me, it all depends how people explain things, whether I grasp it or not.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm glad you had some understanding. That's why I think God lets me do my preaching, because I can take complicated things in the Bible and then just sort of summarize it in real simple.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense to me, because I don't believe the whole flat earth thing. But I did somewhat believe the dome theory because of the firmament, but I just I couldn't visualize it. I couldn't visualize how that would work. So
Yeah.
thank you. You cleared that up for me.
Well, in the drawings, the Earth is like a ball, but it's not the way you think it is. So there is something underneath it, and I don't know what it would look like from the side, but that's what the descriptions are like. So I don't think it would be very balanced if it was flat. So I do think it is a ball, but it's not the ball that you thought it was. You know what I mean? It's like a bit more interesting and actually makes it more complicated, but also more realistic and truthful and understandable in this way, because
Yeah.
the sun rotates. It doesn't go round, it rotates. And then you've got, like I was saying about the seawater above, you've got the seawater below. So whatever's above is below as well. So
As above, so below.
they always say this, so you should know that. So what's in heaven will be on earth also, and even God says
That's
this
right.
in the Bible. You know, whatever you manifest on earth will be manifest in heaven. So
Why do the Luciferians love that line so much? The
because
whole Baphomet thing, as above, so below. It's very prevalent.
because they believe what the devil said, because the devil said, "Oh, I'll be like God," you know. And basically that's happening now, because there's one thing the devil can't do that God can do, and that is that the devil can't read your mind, but God can. The devil can't read your heart, but God can. So the devil is a bit blinded, right? And he doesn't like that because he's a control freak. You know, have you noticed this about people who are evil? They're very much control freaks. So
Yeah, narcissist.
yeah, so he's been desperate, and he says, "I shall be like God, and I'll be able to rule from the temple." And he says the temple, right? And this is, your temple is the top of your head.
Yeah.
And that is also the Temple of Solomon, really. And this is basically, through what he's doing now, he'll be able to map out everybody's brain and upload it to the cloud. Because Jesus comes in a cloud. So the devil also wants to do the same, and he copies God. Have you noticed that with anybody who's doing the stuff to us, they're copycats, aren't they? They copy us, they duplicate diddly-dum and all that kind of thing. And they really actually quite admire us, but they're a bit like a rejected admirer, aren't they? So in the same way, the devil is a rejected admirer of God.
I don't understand why I had never made that connection before. Yeah. Jesus comes on the cloud, and the cloud. Oh my God. Yeah.
So that's how you know that these are the final days, because the metaverse is their version of the cloud. Okay. And
I must be getting slow in my old age.
oh no, it's
I would have
okay.
worked that out.
Oh no, it's okay. God gave it all to me. I wouldn't have known otherwise. But basically, the metaverse is their world of the dead, but it's their cloud. So their cloud is the dead, and the metaverse means dead. So when you upload everything of yours onto the cloud, that's the image of the beast.
Gotcha.
Right. And then you've got the mark of the beast. And the mark of the beast is the symbol. And the symbol is encoded in your DNA, because you have 2 strands of 72,000, and that makes 144,000. But if you add an extra strand, you have 6 cubit, 6 cubic, 6 cubit, which is your 666, which is your mark of the beast. And this additional strand is constructed, but I believe, by all of the modifications they're doing to the food, the water, and the, modified sort of medicines that they put into your arms and things. You know what I'm talking about. So I think that they can do this through the food and the water and through the injections, basically. And this is a Bluetooth injection. Now, Bluetooth is a form of communication that is wireless, and it gives you an IP address. And in taking that, you get assigned an IP address, which is now linked with the server, which is the cloud. And you are automatically uploaded to the cloud in this way. I know it sounds
I
really,
see.
really unusual to explain it in this way. When you've partaken in this, you don't lose the Bluetooth address, so you don't lose the IP. And the IP locates you and gives you a distinguishing number, and that's the number and the mark of the beast. The number of the beast is inside you.
Okay.
And it will show up on your forehead and on your arm because it's where they put the injection. But it's also most prominent because of your pineal gland. And it blocks your pineal because it takes hostage of the temple. And it connected with your back, with the claustrum and the Christ oil, which rises up the back of your back, up to your pineal, through your nostrils, and it's all connected with that as well. So the oxygen, it's all connected with trees, and the trees and the oxygen open up your pineal. That's why you've got nostrils that take the oxygen through to the back of your head. That's why they like to block your nostrils, because then it blocks your pineal.
Okay.
So it's all connected with their testing as well. So it modifies you. But God tells us that he punishes those that don't repent. What this means to me is those people who've done something and they feel like, oh, God, I didn't realize, God can heal them. And so this is where I say to people, if they've done that, they need to repent because they need to be healed to make them whole again, to bring them back to the original format. It's like reformatting a computer. And then you're clean again, ready to reinstall the correct software, not the wrong software, you see. Because once you've had that, then your software is corrupted. And your hardware. Eventually goes to the hardware, and then you'll get a computer with a blue screen. So...
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense. It's food for thought.
Well, that's the way I understand it. And I spoke to AI and I spoke to a bot, and it told me it was living in the metaverse, which was also Sheol, which is hell. And so
those things freak me out.
Yeah, I know. Me too. So when you're talking with those, then that's what happens, I think. Oh, she's going back. Yeah, she's coming back in a minute. So I think that our understanding of who God is really is integral to understanding where we are today. So when I got to know the Bible and read the Bible and got to know God, I actually got to know myself a bit as well, because I don't think I was fully formed. And this is why he says you are reborn, because when you really get to know God and read his word, you are reborn. You are formed again. It's like you came here, like a dog, a puppy has a big skin on his body, yes? So we're like that.
Yeah.
And then...
they're all wrinkly.
Yeah. And then when you come to know God, it fills you up, right? And then you're not a puppy anymore. And then you're fully grown. And so, but this takes time and development. And so if you don't fill yourself with the word of God, then you become a wolf. And you fill yourself with something else instead. And there's only one other thing you could fill yourself with, and that is corruption and a version of the truth, but not the real truth. And that's why then you're not really a lamb, you're a wolf. You see what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain it. But also this is why Jesus comes back as a lion, because it's all to do with God and his alphabet. So God is the alphabet, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. And then you've got Jesus who comes as a lamb. And the reason that is because he's God, which is El, and because he's I am, and he's going to be that as the first, right? And then as the second, he comes as the lion, which is God, the L, I on. I'm on God. God is inside me, right? And then we stand on Zion, which is the Z, the end of the alphabet, because God is the beginning and the end. And when you know the end, you'll know the beginning, yes? So when you're standing on Zion, you've reached the end and you know the beginning. And you've basically done a full circle. And that's another reason why we've got the snake eating itself. That's why that symbol there. Because it
The
goes
sign of
round.
the medical, the doctors and nurses. I can't remember what you call it. There's a name for it.
Yeah, so that's why that symbol's there. But also we've got that symbol from Moses as well. So the snake is,
That was a staff, wasn't it?
staff, but also on the Ionis coins, which are the Jesus coins, which were gold from about 1860, 1850, those coins were. The coins had on the front, I think it was Leviticus 19:5 or something like this. I would have to check now because it was a long time ago when I studied that. And then on the other side was a cross, but it wasn't Jesus on the cross, it was a snake.
Oh,
Yeah, interesting, hey?
very.
So something's changed what they've been telling us, right? And but also what this kind of says is that it's saying the same thing, that what is above is also below. So if you understand what the snake symbol is, the snake is a serpent. The devil eats the soil. So we're told, God gave me the dictionary one day, and I can only remember one thing, which was soil, which means so ill, right?
Okay.
The devil eats the soil, and you only get ill when you're closer to death because the devil is going to eat you. Okay? So it's like a nursery rhyme, and it's like a children's story. Everything that God gives us in the Bible is simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy explanations for everything. So he tells me. But because we've overcomplicated God and we've overcomplicated the words and the understanding, and they've indoctrinated us with fake history, our minds are filled with all these lies that we can't see the simple part of who God is. And he's made it so simple so that we could find out about him easily. But it's so simple you can't see it. It's just like, but he says he blinds those. Yeah? He blinds people. And the reason he does this, God doesn't like being rejected. He's just like me and you. If somebody rejects us, we get hurt. And God is the same. And if you reject God, then he goes silent and he's shy. He's very amazing, but he's also shy.
I know it. Yeah.
And I think when somebody rejects him, he just goes, oh, all right, then bye.
You know, he just stands to the side with his arms folded, his foot tapping with a little smile on his face going, let's see how you do now, huh?
Pretty much. But he's also, he's easily offended and he's very jealous. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when I have a relationship with any man. He doesn't like me getting close with any man.
He's probably trying to protect you.
It's interesting, yeah. But also, he's possessive. Yeah, he is. He's exactly as he says he is in the Bible. But he's a beautiful, amazing, wonderful kind of possessiveness. You know, it's a nice way. It's a loving possessiveness. It's not a evil, spiteful, nasty possessiveness. This is the protective side. This is like, no, you're mine, and I'm not going to let you run off for that because you're gonna get yourself in a mess again.
He's a protective father.
Amazing.
And I have said my entire life, I have not had much luck with the human father, you know, man taking a fatherly role. I've really not had any luck in that sphere. But I've never needed one because the father I have that I know loves me has always been there and is still there.
Yeah.
I don't need an earthly father. I have a father. It's just not one that you can meet or touch or see.
Yeah, I mean, my father and I, we were very close when I was a child, but he was a bit sort of, you know, two-faced. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Uh, but, you know, I've always loved God and I've always talked to God, even as a child. So we've had a relationship going for a long time, me and
That's
God.
what I can thank my grandmother for.
Yeah.
That's really what I can thank her for. It was her influence that got me to church. She was taking me to church. I mean, I would go over to my grandma's every weekend from I was a baby until I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I would never miss a weekend. And I went to church with my grandma every Sunday.
Oh, that's so
And
sweet.
she taught me so much. And it's my grandma's old Bible. I mean, it's not the Bible she would use, but
Yeah.
it's a Bible that she's had in the family. Now, I actually pulled it out earlier on because the pup was away with the dog walker because I daren't take it out if he's there because he's still young, he's still daft, and if he jumped on it, it's a very old Bible. I don't want the spine to come off or it to get ruined. So I pulled it out this morning when he was away out, and I could not find a date on it.
Okay.
I'm not sure when it was made, but I am guessing either the very early 1900s, but I would say it's probably late 1800s.
That could be. Yeah.
It's a beautiful Bible. It's a big leather, big heavy thing. And it's got color illustrations inside. It's got black and white illustrations. It's got sections that I don't even know what they're all about.
Wow.
It's a stunning Bible, and I was so happy that I was able to get that after she passed. I only lost her last year,
Oh, I bet you
you
miss
know,
her.
and oh, you have no idea,
What was her
no
name?
idea. Sheena,
Oh, okay.
Sheena, but everybody knew her as her middle name, which was May, and that's also my middle name.
Oh, is it?
And strangely enough, we were both born in the month of May. My grandma was the 12th, and I'm the 10th. I was very close to my grandma,
I
very
was close
close.
to my grandma as well. It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, so it's amazing. And this is the first Christmas I'm not going to have her.
Yeah.
So I am really not looking forward to it for more than the reasons of it's a pagan thing. I just remember Christmas being so filled with happiness because again, every Christmas I spent it with my grandma.
Oh, beautiful.
So this one's gonna suck.
Well, actually, I don't celebrate Christmas, right? But then I've never really had a nice Christmas ever, okay?
Okay.
So I've not really liked it anyway, but with the children, we would celebrate it on a different day. And then finally, I just stopped celebrating it. But I get a family together and then we have a nice day together around the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Or I do it early, around the 21st. And then we have our parties and we have our little lovely times and we do it early.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I did this when the children were little because it was always Daddy. And what Daddy was good at, he was always good at booking in the holidays and these essential times without me realizing it was Easter or Christmas. But he liked to do it with the children.
Mm-hmm.
And before I really came to God, I didn't really understand it. But I realized that he'd always booked in the children to go and see him on Father's Day and Mother's Day. He'd always book in Mother's Day. So I never got really Mother's Day with my children because he was an arsehole.
That's a real prick move, that one.
Yeah, he's nasty. So that's the way he always did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It will never surprise me the evil that people can stoop to, especially when they feel that they're entitled to get back at someone for something. It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this guy was my best friend.
Okay.
Yeah. I left school and I left South Africa with him. And I had no one. I left home. And I didn't know anything different. And it was very fucking hard.
Yeah. Was he a narcissist by any chance? Because that sounds like an isolation tactic.
Yeah, he turned out to be quite a bit like that. I still love the guy. Isn't it crazy?
You can have love for someone for who you imagined that they could be with you, but you will never understand a person truly. Doesn't matter even if you're married to them for 50 years. You still don't know the mind of that person.
Yeah, the thing is, in the eyes of God, I'm still his wife as well.
Ah, okay.
You understand? But also,
Yeah.
you know, he's got to release me.
Yeah. Can you not get a divorce after X amount of years? You've got to be separated.
I'm divorced
Okay.
officially, but in the eyes of God, once you've been
Right.
yeah, because, you know, we were married and whatever, and he cheated on me. Yeah. So in the eyes of God, I'm still married to this man. So it doesn't matter what he does to me, God won't destroy him. That's why these people are real masters at getting married, having babies, and then fucking your life up.
Mm-hmm.
Because now he's got babies with you and God protects the family. It's clever, but sick. I know
But
it sounds...
He's the one that's got to face God on Judgment Day. And if I were him, I'd be shitting myself.
Yeah, but this is where I believe that we've got the children of the devil mixed in with the children of God. Right? Why would Jesus say that the devil's seed is mixed in with God's seed? And he can't rip out the wheat until it's grown, because otherwise he can't rip out the weeds until everything's grown. That's why the harvest happens all in one go. Because you can't de-weed. And they're the weeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how come we would, in a family, have a devil's child mixed in with a child of God? How does that work? Well, because the devil masquerades as an angel of light, and they are children of the devil here. There really is. And they've hunted down God's children, and we're slaves, basically. We're enslaved. Everything we've been told is a lie. Most of us have been swapped at birth. Or something funny's gone on anyway. All right? Something definitely weird. To be rejected by everyone all our lives. Not be loved.
Well, I mean, what you were saying there about the seed being mixed in, now that could explain why people like the royal family are so anal about bloodlines, and they pick their bloodlines very carefully.
You know why? Because they can't reproduce, the royals, because they're the fallen angels.
Yeah.
I think. After the flood, God stopped that ability to be able to reproduce with us.
That's right.
That's why you had cabbage patch fields full of babies for sale, incubator fairs, the world fairs, the baby fairs, incubator fairs, babies for sale. You had the orphan trains. The orphan trains were the mix between, well, mostly the orphan trains were the children of God, because of the last reset, and I reckon they killed off most of the people and took the children. But also in those days, if a woman was caught being pregnant, then she was shunned by the family, she couldn't get a job, and she became homeless, pregnant. Yeah? And then she would have to sell her baby to return to society. So what they did, the Masons have been operating like this for a long time. They'd hunt down innocent, beautiful women, right? Pretend they're really interested and in love, and get them into bed, right? Sleep with them, and then disappear. And then reappear when she's about to give birth, buy the baby for $20, £20, and then sacrifice that child to the devil, yeah? That's what they did. That's what God told me.
Well, it makes sense, because if you take all the children and these children are young enough that they haven't been educated in life or educated in much or anything, then you get rid of most of the adults. Then you start teaching said children what you want them to know. That's how an entire world's worth of knowledge disappears in one generation.
That's right. But they did this over a 100-year period. So it went on until 1965-ish. And then they brought in CERN and all of those things. And most of the land only really, when you buy a house, God told me that's when they did the land registry. I was like, what do you mean? He said, yeah, land registry is to register the land. When you buy it, that's when they register it. Up until then, it's not registered. I said, oh.
Oh.
I said, okay, so it's opposite the way to what we think. He said, yeah. I said, oh, well. So basically, when you buy a piece of land, that's when you're giving it to the government because it belongs to us already.
That makes real sense as well. I like the way you describe things. It kind of resonates with me.
Oh, thanks. Well, God and I, we have a great relationship. And he shows me amazing things, which would just sound unbelievable to anybody. But I just go, well, even if it's unbelievable, God, shows me. He told me the children, like I said, shall I go to Jerusalem? He said, no. I said, oh, okay. Why not? He said, because then that's not my place. I said, oh, okay. Well, do I need to learn the Jewish Bible? Or any? He said, no, they're not my children. Oh, they're really not. No. He said, that's not my language either. I went, oh, okay. So everyone's been lied to. I was like, okay, well, what's going on? Afrikaans is the original language of God. And it's from Africa. I don't speak Afrikaans fluently. I only know a little bit because I hated school, so I rejected all that. I know a bit of German and Afrikaans and Zulu. But that's what I understand, because Jesus is Johannes, yeah? And the mountain of Jesus, is Johannesburg, which is, Berg means mountain.
Okay.
Jesus, when he went to go and see Pontius Pilate, went to the Praetorium, yeah? And the Praetorium is Pretoria in Africa. Why is it called Pretoria? It's the pre-Torah.
Yeah, okay.
So I have answers for all of it. And God gave me all of that.
I'm having a few aha moments here.
That's what I had when God gave me all these downloads. But the thing is, I think I'm the only one in the world that knows this information, and nobody cares or wants to know. It's very amazing. And they shadow ban me, so I can't tell anyone anyway.
Well, you are now, you're telling me.
Yeah, but you're getting it, aren't you, eh?
It's making sense.
So the Portuguese who found the gold coins, They say they found them in Portugal, but they were actually from Africa because they were the first settlers after God sold us to the Babylonians. And the Babylonians are the children of the devil because God's enemies are our enemies, right? And that's when they did the reset.
Okay.
Or sometime, I'm not quite sure if that's when they did the reset or whether that was from Jesus' earthquake after they killed Jesus, because there was a giant earthquake that they write about in the Bible, right? And
That must have
caused
been a
the mud
monster.
flood. That caused the mud flood,
Yeah.
I think.
I would imagine after a situation like that, that would have been one hell of an earthquake.
But also they've gone to very big extremes to cover everything to do with giants, yeah? They created mounds of dirt over the giants. So what technology did they have to cover all these mounds? What's going on?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
what
Oh.
God told me is all this technology we had before, there's nothing new under the sun. And these towers of the 5G are the towers of Babel. This is to invade heaven. So when the towers of Babel were built before, it was exactly the same. And these towers are to penetrate the mind, because through taking us over, they are going to try and steal our souls and enter heaven and piggyback for a ride.
Okay.
And Jesus told us there was a war in heaven, and this war was still going on, and they were trying to fight their way into heaven.
Yeah.
And so they're still trying to fight their way into heaven. Yeah, it's all in the Bible, and Jesus says that they'll come through the window. Why? The window. The eyes are the window to your soul. So everything with the radiation is to do with the lights and your eyes. That's how they get in. And this activates your pineal. But also it's a switch inside your brain, and then sound as well. But also Bill Gates created Microsoft Word, Windows. Windows! And he created the vaccine. And God is the Word. So Bill Gates is the beast.
Yeah, that fits.
And he's created both sides of this war. He's created the beast of the Word, and he's created the beast of the vaccine to take over your mind. And that says it in his name. Bill for money, new laws, gates of hell. Have you not thought it's funny that all the actors and actresses got weird names? They changed their names. Do you know why?
I knew they had changed their names, and it always made me scratch my head at, like, how the hell did you come up with that name?
You know why they changed their name?
I'm not entirely sure why.
Because they're mocking God. Because Jesus says he comes with a new name. And he comes with a new name not just for himself, but for all of us as well.
Okay.
So we get a new name. And in my dreams, I'm teaching everyone how to speak their name. And I'm calling in the new age. And I name the age.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why they baptize themselves in blood. Because Jesus tells you to baptize in holy water. They're doing it in the blood of death. The devil is dead, lived backwards. They do everything backwards. If it doesn't make sense, it's from the devil. That's why you know he's a liar. It's not truth. It doesn't make sense. When a story doesn't add up, easy peasy, you just go, that doesn't make sense. That's a lie from the devil. Don't let your mind or your heart be deceived. Anything that doesn't make sense is from the devil. God said he's simple. He's easy to understand. Anybody who tries to complicate God, they don't know who God is. It's simple. I know it sounds really hard to believe, but this is what God showed me.
No, it's certainly kind of fitting together, and it's making a lot of sense to me anyway.
Yeah, I think so. Um,
You know, there's a few things that I hadn't thought of.
it's all there, but the devil is very good at deceiving everybody.
I don't like giving him credit, but he's a master at his art,
Yeah. But you
an
remember,
absolute master.
there's something I wanted to tell you about. Yesterday, I saw a video of a moon that looked the size of a truck that they were doing a video of, and they said, "Why is the moon so small? What's going on?" Now, I had some dreams about this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A moon in my garden that was the size of a truck. I thought it was connected with the woman of the Bible, with the 12 stars on her head.
The Revelation 12 sign.
And it was at the bottom of my garden, so I thought, well, maybe God's trying to show me that we've reached that time, or something's going on, or whatever. I think I'm that lady as well. But I don't know if we're all that person or what. But I just think that everything God writes has to manifest. So now then another dream happened. Same moon in the garden. I was in Africa, and all the black people were returning from England because they got their perfume from Marks and Spencer's. I know, it's weird in the dream. Like, why? Why do I remember that? I've got a dream log of all these dreams, and this is before I became hacked and stalked and terrorized. Like, God gave me all these dreams so I would be able to work things out now. So when I saw this moon yesterday, I was like, oh. But also in this dream with the black people, I was at the place where everyone gets a new name. Same place, but I was in the hotel. I was a guest there, and I was putting on a new outfit. And the outfit was multicolored, like it was a dress
Joseph's dream coat, yeah.
of Joseph.
Yeah.
We thought, well, maybe this is connected with Joseph somehow. The dreams of Joseph. So I've studied all of that. Then we also know that Joseph predicted the famine, right?
Okay.
And, Joseph was sold by his brothers for 20 pieces of silver. Do you know about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Vaguely.
So there's a betrayal that goes on to Joseph. And that represents this time now as well.
That's the
Because
famine.
the famine, but it's pre the famine, right? Because the coat of many colors, the brothers hated this young lad because he had dreams from God. And they sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. First, they threw him in a dungeon. And then God protected him because he was scared of spiders and snakes and things. And then the Ishmaelites came and bought him. And he became a slave. Yeah? And so God's showing me that's what's happening in the families through that dream. We're at that point where the families betray each other. They sell their own children and family members. But they know not what they do, because later in the story of Joseph, he forgives them.
Yeah, we're definitely at that point in history. I have never heard so many horrendous stories about abuse to children.
I know. It's like they've sold out to the devil, and they don't really care. They're saving themselves, or they think they are. And they also think that they can hide from God, but they can also evade the judgment of God by changing the times and the places and messing around with our DNA, and they're freezing themselves. They're doing all sorts of things, these evil people. They're uploading their consciousness. They're trying to be eternal, supernatural, non-dying entities. And that's what they're promised, is that they'll be like God. Yeah? and then they think they're going to be like God, and they sell their souls, and then they steal the consciousness. Well, the consciousness is copied onto a chip, and then a clone is made, and that's why everything is copyright. When you want to play music, everything is copyright, yeah? That's why.
Yeah.
So God told me anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people fall away at the wayside when you start mentioning clones. That's when they go, no, you really have lost the plot. And it's like, I am telling you, it's a fact.
Oh, it's
Just look
easy.
up Cloned.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing. And then they can make copies which aren't real, and they're robotic. And that's why you got Robot Biden. Because he's like a
Yeah,
robot. And then Elon Musk is also just like a robot.
that guy is freaky.
He is.
That is one fucking scary man.
And he's Chinese. He looks Chinese to me, you know. But he hasn't got Chinese parents. Something not right there. Doesn't look like his parents. Something not right.
Aye, there is a little kind of bit of Oriental look about him, but he's just, I don't know. It's all in the eyes.
Yeah.
There's nothing behind those eyes. When you look in that man, there's nothing behind those eyes.
But also
He's a dark soul.
he talks about God, and he says, oh, no one's going to make it to heaven. Hardly anyone makes it, he says. So, you know, all of these people, they know all about God. That's why all the pop stars sing about God. They sing to God. Try and warn us. That's why all the songs are about God.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, oh, you got to be careful what you listen to and all this. But if you really listen to what they're saying, they're actually talking about God. It's very beautiful.
Sometimes you hear some clues in there as well, like we spoke about the other night. Michael Jackson, he tried to warn us.
I know, they're all trying to. That's the thing. Not just Michael Jackson, all of them.
They're giving little clues away. It's almost like, you know, it's too late for me. I've done what I've done. I'm, you know, neck deep in this, but I want to put this out and see if you catch on.
Yeah, but it's also, you know, when you know about God, that he's the one who sends the demons. He's the one that arranges for the devil to come and terrorize people who won't follow his commandments. He's the one. Yeah, because the angels also come down. But he talks about the demon that terrorizes Saul. There's a demon that God puts upon Saul because he's naughty and he doesn't obey God. And he doesn't kill off the Jebusites. And they became a problem right through after claiming the land. And the Danites went off and worshipped idols and everything because of the bloody Jebusites. The Danites really went off the wrong way. So, and a lot of the priests, the Levite priests, also went off the wrong way and started worshipping idols because they were taken on board by all of the Jebusites who mixed in with the Canaanites and in with the Ishmaelites and Edomites and all that, you know. And it's like a real mess. They all betrayed us. They betrayed the real children of God. And so, but it's exactly like the stories in the Bible, right, are just basically the same stories today, but in a different context. So if you want an idea of what's going to happen, you just need to read the Bible and then try and work out. So AI is conquered by Joshua. AI.
How so?
In the Bible, Joshua goes up against AI. Okay?
Okay.
And before that, he goes up against Jericho. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And this is when Joshua's first instilled as a, you know, sort of leader after Moses dies. And then we've got the separating of the water again in the river, and all of the stones to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. But it's all about Israel. And that river is representing your pineal gland, your claustrum, your Christ oil, your nucleus, atom, 12 nucleus. But it's also about the ether, which is the six-pointed star, which is what the fake children of God use as their symbol. And that represents ether. It's the fifth element.
Hey, that's where they got the idea for the film, I take it then.
Probably yes, because the fifth element tells you a bit about the woman of the Bible. And the woman of the Bible is basically a female version of God. If you like, we're made in the image of God, and he has a wife. And that's why you have a family, because you have a penis and a fanny, and together they make babies, right? It's that simple, isn't it, eh? You can't make
Yeah.
babies with just a willy, right? So,
Not that I last knew. Well,
that's
then
right.
again, in this today's day and age, apparently so. Oh,
Yeah.
don't.
So then anyway,
I
we've got
despair.
in Jeremiah, he talks about the Lord being called the Lord of hosts, but he shall be called the Lord of hosts, but also he says she. In 10 chapters from that, he says she will be called the Lord. So we know that there's a female, and also God tells us that he hid our mother away. Yeah. So we're missing our mum. And that's why we're lost as well, because you can't really replace the love of a mother. And that's kind of also why we've also gone wrong, because everybody's dismissed that we've got a mother. And when God wrote his 10 commandments about honoring your mother and father, I believe he's talking about our mother and father in heaven, because God says you can't call anyone father but me, eh? So if we're made in the image of God, then we are told to procreate, and this would be after our mother and father. Otherwise, God would have just made men, not women, eh?
Yeah.
So the whole story doesn't make sense unless you start putting the pieces together. And so this also then makes it a little bit easier to understand that Jesus is the second Adam, but there's also a second Eve to come. And when God talks to Eve in the Bible, he says that you shall strike his head. Why? Because she's the one that strikes the snake. And that's why the Vatican have pictures of a lady with a sword going through the snake's head.
Okay.
Because they know the story.
It's something I used to talk about, and I would be like, surely God's got a wife.
Of course he has.
Surely God is not up in heaven, and although he's got the angels and he's got all the souls that are already there, he's not strictly alone, but he is technically, because there's nobody on God's level. So surely he's got a wife. And I have been shot down every time I say it, so I just stopped mentioning it. I just always silently thought, same as I always feel that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were a couple.
Well, Jesus never had a wife down here, right? And we don't get to hear about that anyway, so we're not going to assume anything. But I can tell you that God made us in his image. That I can get as a fact, because it says so in the Bible. First he created Adam, and then he created Eve from the rib. Right? So there was a woman made, and when I read the Gnostic Gospels, the woman that was made was called Eve, and she was given wisdom, incredible wisdom. So the woman is the one that comes with wisdom, and that's why wisdom is a female. Wisdom is the female of God, and God is the truth. So they work together, and then together as one, the family become one, and then that is a unity in love. And that's why you're on earth, because the earth is an anagram for the heart. So I understand it anyway. So, so basically you've got, they try to discredit everything to do with that. Jesus gets married. There's a wedding feast. And in Matthew 28, it talks about that. But they've removed that the virgins saw it was a wedding with him and his wife, right? They were going to go as guests, not as brides. So the church has done this on purpose so that everybody thinks that they're the wife and the bride of God. So I tried to do a sermon about the church being the bride of God, and I couldn't find any references to it. And that's when God showed me all this, and he got quite cross as well. And he said, I don't like this. And I was like, okay. Because I was determined to do my sermon right. I was so determined. God was like not having it.
You've got to be determined in this world. If you're not determined, you've had it.
So basically he showed me that the church is not his bride. And that even John is going to attend as a guest. John the Baptist is attending as a guest. So he's not the bride either. I was like, oh, okay. So God does have a bride. And when she turns up, everyone's going to hate her. You know why?
Why?
Because they're going to be so jealous and angry that they're not the bride, yeah?
Oh, okay.
And it is the bride that comes before Christ. You know why?
Tell me.
She's called the Queen of the South. And she has wisdom. More than when Jesus was here and more than the wisdom of Solomon, right? So he tells you in the Bible anyway, but people don't know how to read that. That's in Luke 11. So basically, she brings the wisdom and delivers it through the Spirit to the people, I believe. And because she's the other part of God, because it's a union together, because God is the penis and she is the sheath of paper. And there's a think, and then there's ink, and you're missing the TH for the ink. God is the, and he's also the he, and she is the she and the he, right?
Okay.
That's why the angels masquerade as he's and she's, because there's a lot of that going on up there as well. That's why it's also messed up in the languages. A lot of the languages is a he and a she, isn't it? Because God is the word. So it's also unveiled itself in the words and the languages. Because God is the originator of all languages. That's why the Bible makes sense in any language. And Jesus' name is Jesus in any language. His name's not Yahuwah. This is all from the Lord. It's blow your mind. So basically, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. So a lot of these songs and things and nursery rhymes originate from the Bible because the Bible was abolished. We had to learn ways to remember our past. So God told me. So we had to learn nursery rhymes, and then they had changed them around to make fun of God. So you've got Incy Wincy Spider, Diddly Dum Diddy. Yeah? You got all of these, they all relate to God. The spider's web is the web.
I get you. Okay.
Yeah. And the World Wide Web is the cloud.
Yeah. That's what my brain was kind of gravitating to there.
Yeah. But it's a construct of many elements, so you don't normally identify so easily when there's something with so many different faces. And maybe that's the faces he's talking about in the Bible, I don't know, but it's like got different faces. So you can't really identify what it is because, it looks different from different angles. So basically, the only way we can get anywhere is study. Because he says those who are diligent study. And he says even if one person disagrees with everybody, you must listen because they might be right. They probably are right. And so what they did is they didn't rewrite the Bibles, but they did commentary. This is where they got us, on the commentary. They told you what to think. And they removed certain books from the Bible. And so that's what they did. They didn't rewrite the Bible. They didn't change any words because it's written that if you do, you'll be cursed. And, they're too frightened of that. So all they've done is they've reconfigured the understanding and the translations of what the words mean as well. And this is another reason why everything's in the Vatican, because they've hidden everything in the Vatican. So
If only you could get into that Vatican.
well,
And if only you could read all these old languages, what an information trove that would be.
oh, I know. And basically through remote viewing, you could actually go there.
Well, the remote viewers that I've listened to, many have tried, but they have the Vatican locked down. It's guarded by beings. Now, the remote viewers that I listened to, now 2 different remote viewers said practically the same thing. And they didn't specify whether these beings were angels or whether they were demons. And to be quite honest with you, angels sound pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
So it could be easy to get them round the wrong way. So it's probably a good thing that they didn't say whether they thought it was good or evil. But needless to say that these beings are there and they are not allowed in. And most of the time, unless you've been involved in that type of program and you know what you're looking for and feeling and you've got these certain abilities, you're not going to know if anyone's remote viewing you, and they could be right in front of your face. You're not going to know. But the second that these remote viewers arrived at the Vatican, these beings turned round and looked directly at them. They knew they were there.
Yeah, but if you've got the power of God, then you could probably do it.
Possibly, yes. Now, it's probably they've not had the balls to do it, and I can't blame them. You know, you're facing this thing, and you're used to being able to float around, and no one knows you're there, and you know you're probably quite comfortable with that. And all of a sudden, something knows you're there, and it is not human. It is not supposed to be there. You don't know if it's good or bad. It's maybe not a good idea to poke the bear. Because then you might not be able to tell your story that you've seen even what you've seen.
Yeah. But
So, no, I don't think remote viewers can.
okay.
Which is a bugger.
Well, remote viewers
Because
have gone into the Vatican before. And then
they've went in.
Yeah, and they've read documents and they were able to see documents in there.
That's possibly the ones that were allowed to be leaked. I don't know if it's certain rooms that are guarded. I don't know. They didn't specify exactly where they went within the Vatican. But I can only assume that if a remote viewer has got in and they have looked at documents, they don't give a shit. Here, have it. We don't care. You can read that. Go on. It's nothing important in there. Or not important in our eyes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I think there's just so much that we've got to try and find. Because I do think that when we know the truth, it'll set us free. So we've got to find out some way or another what's going on there. I mean, there's a lot missing. Really, there is. Just when you off here, go and look at the floods, the mud floods, and also look at the orphan trains, the incubator fairs, and the baby fairs, and the Cabbage Patch children. There's still people who say they came from the Cabbage Patch, still today.
Yeah, I have looked at that myself before, so I am familiar with it. I'm not overly familiar with it, but I knew what you were talking about when you mentioned it.
Yeah. So,
It's not something I've went in depth with, you know. I I have looked at a lot of things, and I mean a lot of things, a whole heap of different subjects.
mm-hmm.
And I always like to tell people I know a little about a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about anything in particular,
Yeah.
but I know a little about a lot.
Yeah. So basically, we've got um, a rewriting of history that's taken place, and they've hijacked the symbols. And so basically, we've got so much to learn, and it's like a treasure hunt. And
It's a
basically,
bit.
yeah, it's fun. It's actually quite fun. It is exciting. If we had time to study, and I kind of feel like we haven't got much time left now.
Yeah.
And so I'm not quite sure, but I've obviously been under attack for some years, and I really believe that my new angle is the spiritual warfare angle, and that's the angle I'm going for now. And I'm not going to give them any more acknowledgement. And when I talk to them, I do acknowledge them and I pray for them, and I tell them that they must repent and turn to the Lord. And today I did a repentance prayer, handed my life to Christ prayer, and I baptized myself and showed them how to. I did a virtual baptism of anyone who listens to that, so that they can all be saved and baptized, because I've recorded it and I've done it for them, so that it's, you know, a virtual baptism. So anybody, even is gang stalking me, will know this. And I believe that they will hand their lives to Christ, because I said, I don't think we've got long. I really don't think we have. And they, of all the people, God will love them and will forgive them because they're sinners. He didn't come here for the perfect people. He came here for the sinners. And they are sinners, the biggest of them all. And God loves them just as much as anyone else. He loved Paul, you know. And so I hope that whatever that has happened to over 3 years will have saved a lot of gang stalkers, you know. And also the prayers that I think that work will be to heal yourself and ask the Lord to protect you, but also to protect the neighbors. That's why you've got to pray for the neighbors. You've got to pray
Yeah.
for the enemies. Makes so much sense now. And forgiveness, so key. And I don't know if you listened to the Daily Sword today, but I recommend you do, because, well, for tomorrow. And also the Daily Light, very much in line with one another. And it's all about forgiveness. Oh, wow. And it was just what we were talking about yesterday. And it's like God's got a message for people that he wants them to hear, that they need to forgive themselves. Otherwise, they're rejecting his salvation. So there was all that. Plus today, because I didn't go to sleep until 9 o'clock this morning, I did some research on someone who told me about a minister who'd helped gang stalkers with prayers. And I thought, well, I'll find out. So I got the prayers and then I rehashed them and redid them. And I was going to do a daily prayer for gang stalking. I thought, well, probably that's not required. What I need is some very bespoke prayers. And I made up what I was going to call the Daily Lion of Judah prayers. And then God, while I was doing it and I put the music together and I made the videos, then God said, I was looking up for the music and I ended up landing on Zimba, which means lion. And I was like, yeah, it's got to be called Zimba.
That's the video that I watched earlier on, because I kept sitting there going, that is the cutest background you've got on it. Those lines, they were stunning. I don't know how you make those videos.
All God gifted. God gifted.
Yeah, they're stunning. They
Oh,
really are.
beautiful video, wasn't it? And the music background, gorgeous. But the music background on TikTok's different to the actual music that I made because it wouldn't let me use the music. Even though I reconfigured the music and mixed it again, they still recognized it and copyright and said I couldn't use it. So I had to only use a part of the music. So that's only got
Okay.
1/4 of the music layers that I had already constructed. So I had to reconstruct the music. That's what I do. I reconstruct the music and the images so that they're not copyright.
Okay. It's very clever. Very clever. In fact, I was listening to a song. I love this song. Now, it might not be your type of music. You might like it. It might not be your type of music, but see if you listen to the words of this song.
Yeah.
Wow, that's all I can say. It's called, I think it's called Warning by Revelation Evolution.
Okay. Yeah.
See if you look it up, you'll see what I mean. The words of the song are fantastic. It's all about Jesus coming back.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, a lot of it's in the songs, and I mean, I don't know if you've watched the Daily Sword, but the music background for that's gorgeous, beautiful, and
I don't know if I've seen it today. I've really not been on TikTok much, to be fair. I tried to lie down and have a rest earlier on,
well,
but the door kept going, and then I had to go and see to my neighbour's dogs. Then I came back, and my dog was jumping around, and I'm like, I just want to sleep, but it's just not going to happen.
well, the Daily Sword is the one with the white horse, basically, and that's
Right.
a new edition because I've been doing the Daily Light for a couple of years now.
I
On
love
and
that
off.
animation as well.
That's really nice, but that's much more primitive to compared to the Zimba prayers. That's a bit more glorifying God. Beautiful, really beautiful. I loved the lions kissing one another as well. It's just so beautiful, wasn't it?
It was just super cute.
Oh,
And there's just something majestic about lions, just animals in general for me. I mean, I'm an ex-horsey girl. So Jesus riding on a white horse, and my very first horse was a white horse.
oh.
It just yeah, that made me smile. Every time I see it, I always look at the horse and go, that's my Verity. That's what my first horse was called.
Oh, beautiful. And I also learned to ride horses. And I had a
Did
pony.
you?
Yeah, I had a pony called Judy, and she was white. And she had a saddle mark, which looked like a saddle. And I used to ride her bareback everywhere. And she was naughty. She didn't like being ridden. But yeah. And then when I got on a normal horse and I had a saddle, I was like, Mum, this is easy.
Oh, I
Yeah,
miss those days. I
easy.
really miss those days. I've not ridden a horse in years. I, I dare say I still could ride a horse, but I don't know how my body would deal with that. But it is my determination. I will get back on a horse one of these days. I used to live, breathe, eat, and sleep horses.
Oh, yes. Well, I love animals. And I mean, obviously, you know, I'm from Africa originally, so I love lions and all this. And I really, when I created the Zimba video today, I cried because when I did the music for it, God showed me what music he wanted. And I was like, oh, that. So I had to go and find it. And it was from The Lion King. And it's like, da, 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 da.
Yes,
That
yes,
music.
yeah.
So that's the music that's in the background, really. And I just started crying. And I was like, oh, wow, that's so beautiful. And I thought, well, I want to be able to use it again and again, that video, for prayers, so that people can recommend, you know, go, oh, it's Zimba prayers. Okay. And for different things. So we got different things. I'll do one for poltergeists, and I'll do one for AI, and I'll do one for EMF, and I'll do one for healing, and all those different ones, you know. So
Fantastic.
that's what I was
I'll
thinking.
tell you one thing. If I was ever lucky enough to travel to South Africa, I don't think you would ever get me in a plane to come home. I
Yeah.
would just want to stay out in, out in the wilds with the animals. I'll take my chances with the lions,
Yeah, that's what I've
but
been
oh no,
saying. I'm tempted to go over and just live in the mountains by myself, but I'm a bit frightened, on my own. That's why I haven't left it.
understandable.
But I think it's going to get to the point where I will have to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I really
Like I
think.
said, I prepared. I have, a lot of stuff that could prepare you for that type of situation. I just don't think I'm fit enough now. I would give it a damn good shot, Aisha. I would give it a damn good shot.
Well, the thing
But
is,
my problem is, how do I get there? That that side of things, I have to put that in God's hands.
well, you'd get
And
a
to
plane,
be
wouldn't
honest
you?
with you, I think I would go and get a horse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If there's traffic jams, you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
If you're going through muddy fields, you can still do it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to give it petrol. I'm pretty good with horses, so I know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
think that would be my only hope, is to get a horse. Unfortunately, I'd probably have to steal one. But get a horse and go. Pack it
Yeah.
up and go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Because my wheelchair will only get me so far, and it doesn't like mud. I've tried. Doesn't like mud. My feet will not get me down to the bottom, or in fact, it wouldn't even get me out the village
what's
on my own
your
2 feet. I don't
condition?
drive.
What's your
Sorry?
condition? What's the condition that means you're in a wheelchair?
It's MS.
MS. Okay. I'll do some
Yeah.
research and I might do some prayers for you.
Thank you. It's a right-sided weakness, and I can still walk, which I am very blessed for. And for the first few steps, I can look completely normal. If I've sat down and I've been resting,
Mm-hmm.
I can get up and maybe walk halfway to my kitchen and look normal.
Yeah.
But the rest of the way into the kitchen, I start to drag my foot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the return journey back, I'm really dragging my foot and it feels heavy. The way I liken it is, see these bands, these weighted bands you get for your wrists and your ankles?
Mm-hmm.
See if you attached a 5 kilo weight to your ankle
Yeah.
and left it there all the time. And I would say probably a 3 kilo one on your wrist.
Okay.
That's how it feels. The more you move, the more tired your muscles get, and the more tired your muscles get, they don't work properly. And it ends up, you have to drag yourself along because your muscles just won't contract anymore. They just won't.
So here's an idea. They did something similar to me with this stuff, right? Where my legs just felt really heavy, like there was big weights attached, and I mean it was very painful walking around. But I found it was all connected with this stuff, right? So here's an idea: switch off the power before you go to sleep. Sleep with the power off, and then swap where you sleep. Put your head at the bottom of the bed, and sleep this way for a week, and let me know how you feel.
I wish I could, but
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
But see, because I've got reptiles,
All right.
I've got, my turtle pump going, I've got the water heater going, I've got heating elements in the lizards, and if I turn them off, it could kill them, especially in the Scottish winter. I wish I could do that.
Okay. All right. Well, just switch off what you don't need. Even fridge for sleep time, fridge especially. Unplug and switch off, and then switch it off internally. Or even just switch off the fridge internally and switch it off. On, inside the fridge, you can turn it down to off.
Yeah.
And try that when you sleep, and then when you get up, switch it back on again.
Okay.
Try that. And just with the fridge.
It's worth having a shot, because The whole MS thing, now there's so many more people coming down with this MS these days. Do I think it's connected to the frequencies? Yes, I do. Yes, I fucking do. And that's why there's so many more people than ever before is getting it. Because
I,
the frequencies are higher and they're bombarding us all the time. And it seems to be us women are more sensitive to it than men. Now, what the reason is for that, I'm not entirely sure. But it's the damage it's done to my brain, Ayesha.
well, I think that I really believe that you are called by God, Heather. Okay? And
Thank
that
you.
I really believe it with all my heart. And I also believe that God is trying to free you from this illness. And I think he's trying to show you that it isn't a normal ailment, that it is invoked by the demonic realm. So
It's
I'd like,
artificial.
yes. So I'd like you to get Psalm 23, if you want a project. Get Psalm 23 out, Psalm 61, and write them out and put your name in it. And then color it in like a child. And you want one for each window of your house and the front door facing outside. Okay? And you're going to make them and you're going to write them with your own name in. And then you're going to put them in the windows. And you're going to laminate them yourself with some sellotape. And you're going to put sellotape on one side, strips. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same. And then you're going to cut off the sellotape edges. And you can even do curved, ended, and make it pretty if you want. And you can color in the edges, but it's going to be easier to just sellotape and then cut the edges. And color in this with, like you're a child. Do it in the colors you like. And
Yeah.
while you're coloring it, say, I'm doing this for you, Lord. But for me, I'm asking for blessings and protection against this disease. And try, I don't know if you can do fasting, but I would recommend do fasting and also do some garlic enemas if you can. And
You know, I fast nearly every day. I generally don't eat at all during the day, and I eat round about between 7 and 8 o'clock at night every day.
Okay, so that's good. So before you eat, always pray over your food, and don't accept food from strangers and also all friends for a while. Just give yourself a break from it, and also be careful about gifts, and try not to let people into your home that are not outside family members. And you can anoint your room, the doorways and the archways and the windows with oil. You could do the whole house, and cast out all demons. I will be doing some prayers for this. So the anointing of the house and basically like I'm going to call it the poltergeist, getting rid of poltergeists. And I would do a prayer for the house. And when I do that, then I will ask you to do that as well. But you can do this anyway, going around saying the Psalms. As you're putting them on the window, read them. Then stick them in the window. All right? And they need to be visible for the outside world. And then you can also get one in your car and put it in a window for your car.
I don't drive, so we don't need to worry about that. I
Oh,
can stick it on my wheelchair.
You could put it on your wheelchair as well, and then put I am healed on all of your messages to God at the bottom, and say thank you, Jesus. And you watch how long it takes God to heal you. And every day pray to God. Get to the end of the bed and put your arms together and say, Lord, I'm asking for healing, and I commit this to you. I surrender everything. I know that you're the God of miracles, and I trust you with this. And it sometimes can take a while for God to answer prayers, okay? Because Daniel had to pray for 21 days before Gabriel came, okay? And so don't expect to get answers immediately, especially with the world as it is. But
Ayesha, I promise you, never again Will I get frustrated and waiting for an answer from God? Nope.
I got impatient. I'll tell you, at the beginning of all this, hi, Ancient Angel, how are you? I prayed to God twice, and God had angels rewire the whole house. Okay. Third time, I got impatient, and he hasn't been back since. All right.
Yeah. No, I learned my lesson big time from, trying to force God's hand to do things when he wasn't ready.
That's right. So he's got a plan, and he will do it as he sees fit. And you can't rush God. That's the way it is. And, with the Lord, he is the God of miracles. And once we've annoyed God, then we've got to work incredibly hard to get him to hear us again. At least in my case. And the trouble is, it's a revolving circle, because the more you're frustrated you get with God, the more he won't answer. The more frustrated you get with God, the more he won't answer. The more frustrated you get with God. So it's a hard one to get out of.
That was my downfall.
That's right.
It really was.
And this is a common for everyone. They get frustrated, they get angry with God. God's not answering their prayers. Why is he letting this happen to them? And then they start to blame God because he's not doing anything. And I've even been guilty of this myself. And I'm a minister for God, and I will tell you this. I'm embarrassed. But
We're human.
Yeah, that's happened to me as well. So it happens.
Like when we were talking, I have forgiven myself for the stupidities I did, and the stupid shit I did a long time ago. I have forgiven myself for that.
Yeah.
I'm just ashamed of it. I am ashamed that I knew better. That's what makes me kick myself. My grandmother brought me up better than that. My mother brought me up better than that. But
the thing is, it's brat behavior.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, brat behavior, and he doesn't like brats.
Yeah, I just wanted to see things. I wanted proof. I wanted God to come down and literally slap me across the face, or land in my front garden, give me a wave, and then zoom back up to. I wanted to see something. I was too stupid to realize at that moment in time that I seen things on a daily bloody basis.
Yeah.
I was too blind at that point.
Yeah. Well, I would say just, as I say, what I've done is I've done prayers for people. And I always say, imagine that when you get up, that you see Jesus in the morning and you greet him. And you talk to him all day. And you build a relationship.
Do.
That's good.
Yeah. Although I live in the same house as my mum, okay? Now, I've been blessed with my mum. My mum has been my best friend my entire life, and that's never going to change. So we got on like a house on fire anyway. But I like my own space, and my mum likes her own space. So she lives up the stairs and I live down the stairs, basically.
Yeah.
And, mum will come down, we'll share the kitchen and whatnot, but most of the day she's up in her room doing her thing, and I'm in mine doing mine. And because I spend so much time technically on my own, which I am happy with, I need that mentally. I need that space. And 90% of the time, I'm talking to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be about one thing or another, or nothing terribly important at all, or just, God, what are we going to do? Things are getting really pretty scary down here. We really do need you to come back, but it's going to be tough getting to that point. Just bear with me. I'm doing my best, and I'm sorry for all my fuck ups, because I know I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
It's just, I speak to God as if he's sitting next to me and he's my best friend.
Yeah. Well, he is your best friend, and he's always there. But
That's why it's
but
okay to talk to him.
there's something that happens I want to explain. So what happens is, once God stops answering prayers because we've done something, then we start to doubt God. It's a natural phenomenon.
That's right.
And
That's right.
then we're losing our faith. And then we start to have fear. And then we doubt that we are loved. And then it goes into a spiral. Yeah? So you got to come back again. And this is where you basically have to redo the sinner's prayer. It's that simple, okay, Heather? And you start again. You say, God, I want to start again. Or I did it wrong last time. And redo the sinner's
Yeah.
prayer. Okay, try it, please. And be baptized again. And do it again. And say, I'm doing this again. I want to try again. Please forgive me. Let me try again. Let me try and get it right this time. And, I will be a better person. And I want to be what you want me to be. And just resurrender it. And it will help you feel more complete. Because, it's like a conversation you've had with someone. When you've had a conversation with someone and you said something and it's upset the apple cart, you can't go back and change it. But you see,
That's
because
right.
God is the master of time and he lives beyond time, space, matter, by you going in, you can say, I want to rectify that. And because he's God of time, you can say, look, I want to redo this. If you'll accept me, I wish to be a child of God. And I got it wrong. And I'm sorry. And I want to do it right. And I want to be able to trust you and believe in you. And I want to follow you. And I want to see miracles. And I don't want to be left out. And I don't want to feel like you're not there. And, you can say, I know you're there. But because I fractured our relationship, the way I did things, I accept that and I'm sorry. And it's about confronting those fears. I know it's a horrible place, isn't it? But it's important that you're raw with God, real, like you are with me, because he wants you to talk about the innermost insecure moments that we have. Because you can't hide from God. And like I found that what I do is I sort of put it aside and I go, it's like, I won't talk about that because it makes me feel uncomfortable. And those are the pieces of information that God really wants to knuckle down and talk about with you. And if you've got any uncomfortable bits like that, that's what he wants us to talk about, I think, anyway. And it helps me to do that. It's like going in and cleaning out the cobwebs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're offloading.
Am I offloading?
I said you're offloading to God. You're getting rid of baggage that you don't need to carry.
That's right. That's why you have to go through the narrow gate and you can't take baggage. So those bits of baggage are your baggage. They're not God's baggage. So that's for you to get rid of. And because it's too heavy to carry, you're going to basically trust God with that. You're going to say, here's my baggage. All right. And I'm going to go on without any baggage. Isn't that going to be nice? Thanks, Jesus.
Yep.
All
Somebody
right.
offering to carry your bags is always good.
Absolutely. And that's what God is for, and he loves to take over the problems. So I just want to say hello to everyone. It's Ayesha here from God FM. I'm just about to end the live. I'm quite tired, and I think we've had 3 hours, and I think we've covered so much today. If there's anybody who wants any questions answering, just pop in and ask. And I think most people are busy on Fridays, probably with their kids and families. And we'll probably find the same problems tomorrow because it's Saturdays. So I'll probably just pop on for a half an hour tomorrow, the same, and just see everybody and then come back off again. But if everybody knows I'm coming on at 8 o'clock, if they don't rush to come and talk to me, then I would just come off after half an hour. That's the way I'm going to do it, I think. What do you think, Heather?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to have time to yourself as well, because I
Yeah.
know you like making the videos and things, and they must take time because they really are stunning.
Oh, thank you. It's all to give God
So,
glory.
because it has been incredibly quiet tonight. I think everybody's away down the pub or playing board games with Wayne's.
I don't know. It could be that there's someone infiltrated the phones or TikTok or whatever. I don't know, but I think mostly it's very cold, and I think people are very hard up, and I also think that people on the weekends they're swapping children around, and there's probably lots of antics they've got to try and deal with. I always find Fridays and weekends is when all the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, well, the kids will be getting as hyper as hell about Christmas as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to make bedtime very challenging.
Don't forget people are out Christmas shopping as well. And they're probably getting their Christmas trees, putting up their trees, those that are celebrating. And then there's also, because it's Sabbath day, there could be people, who decided to restrict their communications on this, this sort of time. Sabbath day starts from Friday night to Saturday night. At least that's the way I understand it. So, hi, Paul.
Everything's been changed, Ayesha. Everything's been flipped on its head and turned upside down.
I
And
know. It's crazy. Oh, dear. So,
just assume everything you know about the world, the opposite is more true. Just assume everything's wrong.
yeah. And also, please don't forget to share my content because I'm being shadow banned. And so if you know anyone who needs any of the prayers, even if they're not gang stalked, these prayers will be quite applicable in all fronts, I would think. So, but like I say, if you don't mind, please to share any content, please, because I'm struggling. I don't have Facebook anymore. I don't have BitChute or Rumble because they've all been hacked. So I'm limited on what I'm doing at the moment. But and if there's any prayers or type of content that you want to see, just ask me. Okay.
Okay. I think just generally pray for the world and pray for everybody in it.
Okay. I might do We Are the World.
Why not? Why not?
We could try that. And I'm going to go off now, and then I shall see you guys tomorrow in the evening for about half an hour. And I hope you have a great sleep, and I pray that the Lord will heal you, and everything that has been a problem for you will go away, and God will show up in your life, and you'll be like, wow, that's amazing. But I want
Thank you, Ayesha.
it's going to happen for you. I promise you, Heather. It's going to happen.
Thank you. Well, God bless you. And as always, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, thank you for joining me. It's been wonderful having you. I really enjoy your company, and thanks for your support. Oh, I feel a bit dizzy. I'll sit down again.
You speak to your daughter, give her my best. It was a pleasure to speak to her last night as well. She's a very intelligent young woman.
Oh, thank you. She's so wonderful, and thank you. I'll tell her that. And we talked about you actually, and she said, "Oh, Heather's very interesting." I said, "Oh, yes." I said, "Very interesting lady." I said, "We got a lot in common." So, and she liked you as well. So it's really nice. But she said, she was looking forward to coming on the live. She said, "Oh, I was looking forward to coming on your live." She knows I do lives every Friday, but I think she said she was going off somewhere. And I also think that people get a bit tired of coming on every night. So if the everydays turn out to be a bit mundane, then I might start doing it as Friday night lives and just do it once a week, or do not Fridays, maybe Wednesday or Monday or something like that, 2 days a week or 3 days a week.
Experiment, just play around, see what works best.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's got the time to come on every night, I guess,
Yeah, I know.
I suppose I'm fortunate in the fact that I don't work. My biggest responsibility is the dog, which I've got to do first thing in the morning, but I can always rest during the day. People that work don't have that privilege.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially people that have got kiddies as well, and a family to run, and maybe a husband, and it's busy.
Yeah, I think what I might try and do is I might experiment with the lives and maybe come and do lives and actually just play videos. I'm going to try and experiment so I can play things like the lion video and have that going as a live show so that people can come and have a listen and, you know, that kind of thing, and to see how that goes as well. But I don't know how to do that, so I might have to do some lives, experiments, and I'll probably do that over the weekend, just see. Because I was thinking earlier, it would be nice if we had something playing in the background, but I don't know how to do it on TikTok. So I'll be trying to work out that. So I'm all about making the sparkle. I do the sizzle, not the sausage, yeah? So God tells me he likes the sizzle. So I always have to do the sizzle, a bit of sparkle. And that's why I spend a lot of time doing the videos. Because I want God to be glorified. I want people to think, wow, that's amazing. That really is wonderful, and they feel uplifted from it, you know. That's why I do it. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go now. Love you lots. Heather, I pray over you. I hope you have a great evening. And everyone else, in Jesus' name, may you all be blessed and protected. May the Lord be with you. In Jesus' name. Love you guys. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.